Sorry, I'm just waiting for Aussie to go properly live.
I went to the wrong scene. I apologize, everyone. Also, hello. How are you all doing?
Nice.
Ah, you peeked. Your microphone didn't bring it in. Got it.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Hello. Hello.
Tell the raptor how dare
Hello.
Hello.
What happened?
Hell,
I
I'm
got
confused
confused
by
by
my own
my
chat.
own settings.
So Josie likes to come into the going live with an exclamation of excitement. I reckon I'll call it, and it was just a little too loud today, and the microphone didn't pick it up.
No.
And yes, power, no scare alerts during D&D.
Wait, what? No, I have turned off my scarecrow alerts. Don't worry, I have
Yeah,
turned
I
those
turned mine off as well because I had some on, and Pabor got a really, really perfectly timed scare alert.
Oh well.
When we were doing the charity phasmophobia last weekend.
Oh, nice.
And it was like me alone in a house with the spirit box, and the ghost responded, and I threw the spirit box away and exclaimed like, "Oh, it's this ghost!" And then it's like on in my face at the same time that Pabor sent the scare alert.
Oh wow!
It
Perfectly
was just-
timed. I hope that got clipped.
It did. It's in my Discord.
Excellent. I'll
Brilliant.
check that clip out.
As someone who
Right.
played Phasmophobia last night, I appreciate hearing more Phasmo stories.
Yeah, see, you're not the only one who screams.
Oh, I squeal. It's the difference.
Yeah, oh, we love that.
Squeal like a little schoolboy. Anyway, D&D, everyone? Anyone up for some D&D?
Is
Yeah,
that
my
what we're
I
doing
wouldn't mind
tonight?
some
I thought we
D.
were.
And or D.
Look,
Did you
Roju,
know-
you can get your D when you want it, all right?
Is that? I gotta go. I gotta go.
Please
Look,
don't go.
we can't
Oh,
have a
you're here?
stream. Can we see if we can have a stream when no one says they have to go and turn off their camera? Is that
It's
possible?
too late. We've already
that-
done it.
I
I know
don't
it's not
know,
gonna
Ozzy.
happen.
Can we have a stream where someone doesn't jinx tech problems on us?
Have
No!
them.
See?
What do you think?
I was about to make it worse, actually. I was about to jinx it worse.
Don't you dare.
No, it's fine. Absolutely nothing can go wrong now.
Right?
Roju did it. I'm off the hook.
There you go,
Roju's the
buddy.
new jinxer.
I got you.
Thanks,
Roju made it
Roju.
worse.
Thank you.
Roju made it worse.
Yes.
Yeah, remember
Virgin
that?
made it
Remember
better.
the last?
Excuse me.
Remember the last time I said that and I rolled 2 nat 1s on my death save?
I remember. I was
Mhm.
there. I was there.
Exactly what he sounded like.
Yeah, exactly.
If you guys couldn't hear, there was a Wilhelm scream.
The best thing about that was the fact that it was with digital dice, so there's no way to like
Yeah,
fake
there's
the
no
rolls.
fudging it.
No.
That's it just is what it is. Yeah.
No fudging the rolls.
But we are here to play the ND Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And if you can hear the wonderful little crackling fire in the background, we, as per usual, we are using Sirenscape. Don't be afraid to check them out if you want some good audio for your own games. It's really, really neat for your IRL games, or if you use the online player, you can even send the audio to other like you can connect to friends' accounts and you can send the music to them via the online player. So you can even use it like we're doing now over a video call.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Cool.
You know, it's pretty cool, but it's actually not as cool as Josie.
This is true. This is very true.
Okay. I will let you all know that you are 3 puns away from
Well, everybody get your super spells ready. We got punishment
Just me
panthers
being
to hunt.
obnoxious. Oh my God.
that was
I'm letting
that
you-
wasn't a pun, but I felt like on that note, I'm going to mention.
That's
that you
fair.
got 3
Okay. Well, this
puns.
is good because I am now counting down to our demise.
Excellent.
You
we
mean
are
Arthur's
always
demise?
starting.
Arthur
Yeah.
does not do well against these
Arthur always
Panthers.
goes first and is fantastic.
Arthur, for some reason, his problem is the Punishment Panthers. He can't do
There should be
anything.
3 this time, right? Or should there be? There's 1 and then there's 2.
What if?
I
Oh,
don't
no.
know.
What if
I
this
don't know.
time?
There's
It's-
going to be
They
more.
multiply.
There's
What if they
absolutely going to be more.
No. This time it's going to be the one Punishment Panther with 3 heads, Cerberus style.
Ooh.
Thunderous.
Love that.
Thunderous! Oh, I love it.
Or what if it's like?
I mean, George has never seen the Punishment Panther, so I feel
What
like,
if it's like?
Cuddly, George
Like
can't
the
see it
Panther-
all.
George, if it's all dark and no one fucking puts a torch on, you know what George does just fine.
True!
Well, when
This
it's
is the
all
best
dark,
thing.
Rudy's going to put a light on, so...
Okay, children.
Give up the Siren ring.
Children.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Aussie, sit the fuck down.
Rudy's gonna leave an ear on your pillow.
Everyone, Orb, you are doing wonderful. Hi, everyone, in all the chats out there in internet land. I'm Joseph Oser, I'm the Dungeon Mistress. I run this game and have been now for 49 sessions. We've been playing for over a year. A year and 4 months this campaign has been going. How wild is that? Next week will be session 50. And there are some fun things working in the background. Keep an eye out, an ear to the ground. Today I'm drinking some Soda Stream. Just some lemon lime homemade soda.
Oh, nice.
And I'm gonna send it over to our guest, Gouda.
Oh.
Buddha's gonna hold her action because she forgot her drink.
Okay. Then I'm gonna send it to the good boy Orb.
I am the good boy Orb, or Wettest Orb, as some people might know me. I play Arthur Orblet III. He is a Wood Elf Ranger with a dash of Rogue. Recently we found out he can grow claws on his hands, which is something that the party hasn't seen.
It's a cause for concern.
As we are going to continue, I am drinking vodka and Pepsi Max because apparently vodka has no calories. Apparently.
Alright.
On that, I am going to pass it over to AussieDevFro.
Yeah, that's a wonderful note. He's looking at a vodka bottle, everyone. Anyway, hello, I'm AussieDevFro. I play Rudy Magic Hands McGee, the party's Grave Domain Cleric, who is currently decomposing, eternally annoyed at everything apparently at the moment, and honestly, I think according to the last battle, just wants to be noticed. I think that's kind of where he's at.
Doesn't want to talk about it.
Every time he talks about it, he just gets annoyed. Anyway, that's me. That's who I play. I'm drinking water, and I'm also drinking soft drink, Josie. I'm drinking Pasito, which is like a passion fruit soft drink, for those of you who don't know.
You're drinking like, is there anything in front of it?
No?
What?
No, like no company name. Like sometimes they have like a really common company for that kind of drink is like.
Oh,
Des.
I mean it's
Des-
sugar. It's
Not
sugar free.
Despacito? Oh.
No, oh, cuddly. Why? No, you get back here, Missy, and you introduce yourself.
My internet dropped. I missed the pun. What happened?
Don't worry about it.
I had unstable internet and everything froze. What
I
happened?
will tell you.
It was a very sad pun,
It was-
like some play Despacito.
Hi, I'm Cuddly. I'm the current menace of this game. And so is Nana. Honestly, Nana kind of feels like finally this curse has been passed off to someone else because I think for the last 3 battles, she's just been untouched. So you get it now, Rudy. Haha. Welcome into the group. Yeah, I play a gnome granny druid named Nana Malavora. She really likes to cook. She is short. I don't know what else to say about her. That's about it. I
Are you describing Nana? No, oh yeah, I guess it's the same.
Yeah, they're about the same.
Yeah,
Same
you know,
height.
play your character always has to have a spark of you in it, huh? Yeah, and I am drinking water because I'm really dehydrated. Anyway, who has good idea? Your drink yet?
I have my drink, yes.
You have a drink? Okay.
Oh, that means you're passing it to me. Okay. I am currently guesting with the Dramonia crew. I'm gonna tell them. I play a character called George the Bard. One of my eyes is closed because I have a cut on my eyelid. So I have a band-aid there. So yeah, it makes it hard to open my eye.
It's like the saddest pirate.
Mm.
The irony is my username on Twitch used to be Pirate.
You're just trying to make your dreams come true.
Don't
Yeah,
let your
it's-
dreams be dreams.
Yeah, George is a bit of a little shit that accidentally got someone killed last session, and but saved 2 children, so he's a good guy. He's a real good guy.
Coming out on top.
He's also waiting to get paid.
He's being paid.
Only half, less than half.
Last but not least, we got Roju.
Hello. I guess that's me. I'm Roju. You might know me as the Channel Participation Award. But here you will also know me as Gerald, the party's wizard, who is not a wizard.
Will
But is
never be a wizard.
will never be a wizard and is genuinely a warlock. Not that he necessarily even knows that term. And he's, generally has extreme anxiety about life in general and is terrified of everything. And his charisma basically is the mask of semi-competence that you see over the top of it.
Oh my God. He's
We
Gerald.
did have that conversation. How come Gerald has such a high charisma? And
Yeah.
the fact that
Well,
high
the-
of charisma is just trying to hide.
Yeah,
his
that's
actual
just like
feelings.
that's just like a really convincing act of
Wait.
like,
Convincing.
yeah, I mean, because you haven't seen Gerald without the mask, so
Wait, he's wearing a mask as well? Oh
No,
my god.
it's
Does
a
the mask
metaphorical
does the
The
mask talk?
metaphorical- the
Is the mask
metaphorical
alive
mask.
as well, like the hat? This changes everything.
Anyway, we're 1 minute over. It's time for the recap.
Oh no.
Last week on Dramonia, the party continued their excursion in the Knoll Knolls, the hills that they are helping raid along with the Midnight Suns Guild of Volunteers. They went in as the strike force to clear out whatever can be found inside. They found some witherlings, some seemingly undead gnoll husks that were easily enough defeated, but there was also some very powerful gnolls inside. And at the very, very depth of these caverns, they found a much larger gnoll, seemingly doing some form of ritual that the party interrupted. A few civilians that recently had been kidnapped were also seen down here. George, turning invisible, moved over to where the civilians were and summoned an elk as a defensive maneuver. However, the elk was hit by the flail of madness and lunged out backwards and hit one of the civilians, sadly. The two left, George brought to safety and hid them behind Claire's bear, Bjorn. And a fight broke out. However, most of the fight was made redundant by a very, very well-placed hold person by Gerald on Faran the Rampageous. Arthur throwing himself into an emotional rage after seeing the 2 creatures that were responsible for the death of his pregnant wife some years ago. He went into a fury and throughout it all managed to get the last hit, tearing the head off the head of Faran. Rudy, doing his best to taunt the Shuzuba, a fiend creature that had spawned from a flaming pyre, was seemingly ignored for a very long time until a 45 points of damage inflict wound spell finally caught its attention.
He snapped. He snapped.
He snapped.
He did.
He snapped, and the party, without really much issue, the only one seemingly being in peril was Nana. But thanks to Gerald's gift of the protectors and a clack of her heels, she turned around and made herself scarce,
Bang.
literally disappearing using the hidden paths of the dream circle. But the party then found that around this ritual pyre, several magical items, coins. This pyre was made out of what seems to be burning humans, just scorching them. But you also found what looked like a basin filled with blood. Gerald, after talking openly, one of the few times he'd done so, talking openly with his hat, Sarkava, came to the conclusion that this was some form of communication device, but they didn't really know how to work it. Arthur offered to poke the thing, and did so. To which Gerald and Arthur saw the face of a very familiar fiend, a succubus, whose face contorted in rage and inaudible screams as she saw us on the other end of the line.
She hung up on us.
She hung up, and the basin started welling over, and as the blood within spilled out, it started burning the ground around it, and an endless amount of this hot blood poured out, and the party ran.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome on in. Everyone coming in from Evadoa's fantastic raid. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in, everyone. We're just getting started tonight. You just missed the recap. Best time to come in. Best time to come in. I hope you all had a wonderful time with Evadoa. Hope you continue to have a wonderful time here with our campaign. We're getting started. Happy to have you all.
At the very end of last week's session, we did have the brief idea that we might use a sufficient amount of the gems that we found to potentially resurrect the guild member who died.
So.
Yeah.
What
the
do
only
we think
problem
about that?
the only problem is I don't think Rudy has. Although that would be a terrible thing.
You
to
are
have.
just about to have a long rest.
Yeah.
So you can do in the morning.
Yeah, he'd have to. What would he? He would have to pencil in the stronger revive, wouldn't he? The
Like,
one that
I believe it's Raid's dead.
Raised
Ray,
dead.
it's literally
I
raised
mean-
dead, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like you would also probably talk to Venerian about it first anyway. So that's a
This is
big
true.
process to grieve someone and then be like, "Oh, I died."
Well,
yeah, sure.
Well, look, if you know, if someone was to approach Rudy and go, "Hey, look, we need to get a res over here," he'd be happy to do it.
What if? Because I mean, technically, the soul has to want to come back as well, right? Because they can refuse technically.
They can.
What if you do speak with dead and be like, "Hey, yo, do you want to get resurrected?" and they can be like, "No, it's cool." And then you'll be like, "No worries," and we save
Hang on.
ourselves 1,000 gold of diamonds.
That's a good thing. Rudy still has Speak with Dead on the on his spell list, and so I suppose yeah.
I mean, you should probably. Yeah, I mean, look, if I didn't want to come back, I would be so mad.
This is
so
true. This
Well,
is true.
because
Alright.
the thing
probably
is, we
ask
don't want
before
to use 1,000 gold just to find out that they don't want to come back.
Yeah, okay, fair call. So I'm assuming like there's a fire going, people are eating and drinking and celebrating a little bit the victory. Yeah.
Hannah and Claire went ahead. You can see the two children are sleeping up against Bjorn, currently near the fire. And Venerian is leading you towards there. There seems to be two fireplaces. One is higher up, and you can see a few people that are looking like lookouts on the hill that Gerald exploded.
That's right.
Good times.
They made a smaller fire where a few people are sitting to get a bit of a high ground. And
Alrighty.
then there's a larger, the fireplace that was already existing that the Knolls had has been rekindled. And that's where most people are sitting and talking.
Okay.
All right, we can refill our
Venerian
flasks.
leads you over there asking, what happened down there?
Oh well, what didn't
Everything
happen
okay?
down there?
And he looks over and this like column of black smoke is just pouring out of the cave entrance.
Okay, now for the record, that was Arthur's fault.
What?
Got a little
I
heated.
100% second that.
That, yes, exactly. When one is presented with an altar that has filled with blood, potentially some form of horrible communication device, you don't just plunge your hands into it. Like, why?
Well, I mean, someone had to, I guess.
I did do that, didn't I?
Oh, don't play
You did, yes.
coy now.
Well, we did get information out of it, and we'd already taken. I think we'd already gotten the important things out of there. So, I think on the balance, it's probably fine.
We did all make it, didn't we? George, you're around, right?
George, where's George?
George?
George is probably putting a blanket on the two kids.
Oh, what a softie.
Aw.
No one's
Oh,
like,
he's
He probably would not have heard you say.
Yeah.
"Where's
Is
George?"
Oh, no.
George, is George actually like tsundere secretly?
I don't know. Find out.
I feel like
Oh,
Fuck around, find out.
oh, he's probably just pinching some food off somebody. He's around. I know he got out.
Yes.
Well, we're all very, very curious to hear what happened down there, but I will let you know. The Knoll party that had left did return, but they saw us, hunkered down for a bit far away, and then they took off north. So I think we're
we're
pretty much
definitely in the
victorious
clear.
at this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we took down the big one, that's for sure. There was a big one, and then there was a bigger, smellier one, and yeah, I mean, I think we took care of it.
You think?
Is that why my hands are so sore?
yes, you wouldn't let the skull. It was oh my
What
God.
skull?
How much do you remember?
What?
Are you okay, Arthur?
Can I do a medicine check on Arthur to see if he's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
make a medicine.
Yeah. All right. If he's like, yeah, I suppose insight might also work, but 15.
15. Well, his hands look burned.
Mm.
Like they've got like burn blisters forming. It's pretty bad, and he seems to be in. Well, he passed out without seemingly any injuries, so he's probably in some sort of shock.
You know what, veterinarian? Maybe we should just for
Move
the
this
moment.
to the fire.
Yeah,
How
let's
about-
maybe.
How about you recant the story tomorrow while we're walking back instead, and we could just make sure that you will get a proper lay down. You do. Looks at Nana. You look like you could use some rest.
Thank you,
You got like this
veterinarian.
huge like bite mark over your entire shoulder.
I would have had time to touch that up if it wasn't for the giant, firestorm that was, roaring through the caverns.
Oh yes, no, it was the
Yeah,
lesser
it's
of
very
the
look like
problems.
that. On the other hand, is that something we should be worried about?
Probably.
I
Gerald,
mean,
what do you think?
It didn't chase us out. I thought it was just going to continue to pour potentially forever, and that we'd all die a horrible, burning, blood-filled death. But that seems to have not taken place somehow.
Yet.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Not
Yes.
gonna lie.
Correct, Nana. Yes.
I think what Gerald is trying to say is it didn't come out of the caverns, and we are going to be
Yet.
fine. Yeah, it didn't come out of the caverns, and we are going to be fine.
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we have someone keeping an eye on that tonight.
Probably a good idea. Someone that can make sure it's someone that can yell very loudly while they burn to death.
Yeah. No, we'll make sure someone.
Gerald, maybe we get you by the fire too. Nana's going to start brewing a little bit of tea. 2 cups for the kids and 1 cup for Arthur.
The kids are sound asleep.
No cups for the kids. No caffeine for them. 1 cup for Arthur.
Arthur
Thanks,
goes to
guys.
grab it and forgets about his hands, and he drops the cup. I'm sorry, Nana.
Oh, come here, you overdramatic elf, you.
It's fine. Arthur.
Rudy's
I'll
casting cure wounds on Arthur's hands. 24 hit points.
Oh god, that was a 4th level.
That was. Rudy just fucking banished the burns to the whatever plane they came from.
Yeah, there's as you like cast a spell, there's this moment where the scabs like they look like they're about to slough off. They turn black and they pop,
Oh.
like the blisters, and liquid comes out, and then they just like fall off. And underneath, you got like red, like fresh skin.
Right, now you can drink your tea in peace, and I can go see about, chatting up the dead over here to see if they want to be resurrected.
And Venerian cocks an eyebrow. What?
Well, the poor fellow that passed away in our battle. Did we want to check if he wanted to come back?
Is that within your capabilities?
Yes? Is it not within everybody's? Well, okay, maybe not everybody's.
It's gone quiet now. Everyone is just looking at you.
What? What, was it something I said?
Yes, it was, Rudy.
Generally, people don't come back from the dead.
Well, it's expensive. Yeah. Of course not everyone comes back from the dead.
It's very expensive, yes.
What? How? Wait, expensive? What do you mean?
Oh, well, okay. Long story short, earlier, it's okay. I discovered that I had that... I mean, I wasn't sure I had the capabilities, but...
Short story, Rudy.
Yeah, okay, we're fighting a Linorm. Gerald died. I slammed a diamond into his chest, said some words, and up he got.
And now they're all looking at Gerald, like almost waiting for confirmation.
Oh, that's apparently true. I know I definitely died. I can tell you that much, and now I'm very not dead, which I think I'm grateful for.
And you see one person starts like rummaging in their backpack, like, I got 7 silver.
Oh, no, it's not literally money. Oh dear. Okay. No, okay.
And everyone starts discussing, like pooling their money.
Aww.
No,
That's
please.
really sweet, though.
I'm happy to do it. It's okay. You don't need to don't use your hard-earned money. We found some gems down below, and
yes, we found some. From what I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, Rudy, but your magic, much like arcane magic, does require material components from time to time, and diamonds in this case, as I understand it, is our material component here. And we need a certain amount of them. How much was it, Rudy?
I'd have to brush up on the specifics overnight. I just got to double check a few.
The moral of the story is we found a stack of gems from the cave, so we might have enough to bankroll it potentially from that. Well, of course, if everyone wants to chip in, I'm not going to say no. We could just.
Oh, don't take advantage of their misery, Gerald.
Venerian looks
everyone dies.
Thinks for a moment. Depending on the cost, I don't think I could maybe requisition one from the jeweler in Ebonspire to have you repaid. But I don't know the value. It depends. The guild's pockets aren't bottomless.
I was going to do it anyway, Venerian.
We'll take an IOU. That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
Venerian, I don't think you can put a price on life. It's only that we put a price on...
You can, Nana.
There is actually a price.
Have an exact price, yes.
What I meant was there's no need to repay something that we would be happy to do anyway. But I think it is important that Rudy talk with
I better ask
our
permission.
friend. You always should get consent before resurrecting someone, I think, Rudy.
Except when you're in the middle of battle and you desperately need your warlock your wizard up firing fireballs, okay? You definitely need that.
Oh, I agree.
And with this, Rudy, I'm assuming the body of the because there was only one guild member that got killed. Yeah, is probably off to the side somewhere, covered up or something like that.
There's a shallow grave that has been made.
Is it filled?
It's covered over. It's not like a dug down grave. It's more like
Oh.
they've put like
Hmm.
dirt and rocks on top of the buddy on the ground. The
Oh.
buddy.
Well, now this feels not as good. I don't really want to dig up a grave.
Rudy.
Well, if you can bring them back, Venerian
It's not
walks
going
up.
to be a grave.
all right, fine. Let's just reveal the head for 2 seconds. And so they sort of paddle
okay.
away. We paddle
Yeah.
away. I'm going to ask permission first. What if he's comfortable where he is? He might not want to come back. You never know. I don't know what the afterlife. I don't know what happens after death. Actually, I do. In fact,
I
You know,
do.
first goes your organs, and then they normally get eaten away by worms, and then
And then
the
here's this and
skin
just go,
starts.
Rudy!
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, fine. Okay. And then Rudy casts Speak with the Dead, and he's doing it in his very like haphazard way. He's not like properly preparing it, so it really is just he lights a candle and then just like slams his gloved hand on the chest of the body, just sort of like give it that big like breath of sort of thing to wake it up, so to speak.
Okay, yeah, and the eyes do shoot open, and there's like a and the eyes then look at you, and like all the people around take a very tentative step back and then forward, and they're just like looking over your shoulder.
Oh, I just realized how this probably looks. I assure you we're doing this to just ask permission. This is for no nefarious reasons. This is just... I'll... Anyway,
And you just hear someone go like, "Magic's fucking whack."
It is, isn't it? And Rudy turns
So true.
And you're
though.
another one like, "I did take a class in the college, but I had no idea this was possible. Maybe I
Like,
should go back."
And just remember what Rudy looks like here. No bottom like lip, missing an
No
eyelid,
nose.
missing a
Eyelid.
nose, missing an ear, I think at some point. So like
Also a few patches of hair.
few patches of hair. So he pretty much looks like he has several feet in the grave already. And he's
Yeah,
sort of
ironically.
bringing back to life other people. This is so good.
Yeah,
It's
but you
like-
get 3 questions, I believe.
Okay. So he's sort of... Okay, so he leans down and he's sort of like,
I
gets in...
think. Is it 3 or 5?
I think it's 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5.
We've done 5
but
before.
I don't think we're gonna use 5. It's just very simple. He's just like, okay, all right, son. How do you phrase this? Do you want to come back to your living life? Do you want to be resurrected? Are you happy being dead? I don't know how to phrase this question. That is how he asked the question.
Oh, good, clear and concise. Very good. Yes.
Yeah. And the eyes lock onto your Rudy, and the just says, "Yeah, I'd like to live, please."
Okay, there you have it. Well, in that case, that's pretty much all I need. You go back to sleep for the moment, and I'll have you up right as rain, well, almost right as rain in the morning. All right?
And the air is just exhaled again, and the head falls to the side.
Excellent. All right. Well, Rudy turns to Vidarian and goes, "All right, where are those drinks?"
Venerian just looks at you like, "What? Okay. Do we cover
How
it
do you
back
think
up?"
we questioned the head that we gave you for all that time?
I would probably.
No, that answers a lot of questions, but do we cover him back up? Do
Oh,
we?
yeah.
I'd clean him up. I don't think he wants to wake up in the dirt.
No, he wouldn't want that, but we can do that tomorrow morning. He'll be fine. Rudy casts as well. I'm pretty sure he still has it ready to go. Oh, he's open. I'm opening all the things now. Let me just double
Gentle
check.
Repose?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still has Gentle Repose. Yeah, he does. So Rudy does cast Gentle Repose as well, just in case. Just in case.
Nana, the person who died would have had like a little, like a satchel or something.
Yeah, they have their belongings.
Yeah, Nana will just kind of clear away some of the dirt and put a little, like the blanket that they might have been carrying, and like maybe their little like something as a pillow, and be like, "You'll wake up soon. We'll make you breakfast."
Arthur's gonna walk over to George. George,
Yeah.
What happened down there? I can't remember very much.
Well, there was fighting.
Yeah, but-
I heard the magic-y dude that's upset that no one hits on him or hits him. I don't know which it is. He seemed weirded out. He called you a werewolf at some point. I don't know.
So my hands. Am I a werewolf?
Ah,
Yes.
I don't know. Are you? That seems like something you would tell me.
All I remember is seeing him or it, and then I grew into this. I was getting angry and angry, and then I can't remember what else happened. It was.
If it looks like a werewolf, acts like a werewolf, and you're angry like a werewolf, probably a werewolf.
Look, George, you've been heaps of help. Thanks.
You're welcome.
A lot of answers have not been answered. Good night, George.
You could be an unaware-wolf.
Oh no!
You literally just put a
You
fucking
couldn't
joke
help
in
yourself,
Joe's
could you?
head.
You just
So
couldn't
after
help.
You
I
laugh.
see-
Oh my. For those of you across all the chats who don't know, Josie, our lovely DM, keeps track of all the puns that we say during our campaign, and if we reach a certain amount, we get attacked by the Punishment Panther.
Yeah.
I think we're 2 away, I think you just said?
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
away.
The
Alright.
number required goes up every time,
Mm.
and we
so
see
does
that
the
as a
amount
challenge.
of panthers. So
Yeah.
So Arthur's gonna go sit next to the fire, and just so everyone's got a visual idea, you know how Spider-Man sort of does the like the webs
Yeah.
thing. Arthur's sort of doing that, but nothing's obviously happening.
Trying to get his claws out.
So Arthur's literally just doing this at like the fire, sort of like trying to.
I think
Trying to-
Nana sees this and
Trying to
comes
do your best
over
Wolverine impression.
with her flask out, just in case. You never know. And goes, Arthur, what are you doing?
Apparently I'm some sort of werewolf thing. George was just telling me.
What? You look. I think this is probably something we were going to ask you. You did have claws at one point. I don't know that this is going to bring
What sort of claws did I have? Were they like?
sharp ones.
Oh, okay, yes. All right.
I hope that helps a little bit. Josie, is there anything like distinguishing that I would have nature check maybe? Like they were just
Yeah, make a
Well-
nature check. Make a nature check.
yeah, because they weren't like necessarily like mine that I can get out and they're acidic or anything. Nana, I swear to God, if you don't roll this nature check good, I'm gonna. Nana?
Nana's actually good at this, isn't
Take away your druid card.
Yeah, druid card revoked. It's okay. I still think it's a 15. Hold on. Yeah, it is a 15.
15.
Nice.
You don't know a lot about lycanthropes in general. You know they exist.
Hmm.
There is actually a clan of werewolves that live in the deep wood, but to the far south.
Hmm.
But it's usually rather telling. Like it encompasses
Hmm.
their being. There would have been more tells, and you also know personally that you can grow magical claws at will as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no way to be sure, but currently there's nothing that points at Arthur being a werewolf.
Yeah. Actually, to illustrate that point, I accidentally already clicked long rest, so I won't click on the spell now. But I would like Nana to grow her claws out, and say, "Well, look, I don't know that you might be
How do
a
you do that?
werewolf."
How do you do that first? How does Nana do it?
Nana, you know how like Salt Bay would like sprinkle the
Yeah.
salt in. It's not quite like that, but like if you'd be sprinkling herbs or spices into some food, maybe just like a little bit like that, and then
Oh, okay. Arthur sort of goes, oh, Nana, can I try some spice? It might work.
I don't know how you did it, and you don't seem to remember. Now, what was the last thing that you remembered before?
The eyes. The green eyes.
You did say something about green eyes when we fought the last gnolls. Perhaps you're. Actually, I don't know if I would know that it's brought on by rage necessarily, because I don't know what these eyes mean to him, do I?
No,
No.
you know what he said.
That his
So feel free
wife.
to make your own assumptions.
Yeah. Maybe yours is not a spell, Arthur. Maybe yours is more of a feeling.
Hey,
What were you feeling anything? Were you
just angry. Very, very
that can
angry.
be a strong feeling. Maybe we can ask someone at the School of Magic when we go back. That's very interesting, but I'm not sure my little spice will work for you.
Well, those eyes, the look of him, it's sort of coming back. It's sort of close to the thing that killed my wife.
Close to, or
I vividly remember what's happened. I can't quite remember. That, as in what's happened in the cave. It sort of was the green eyes are exactly the same. I remember that, but right now I can't quite remember the shape. I don't know. I'm tired.
yes, maybe have some rest. Oh, well, I will tell you that what happened in the cave was you gave him the old one too. That's what you did.
Oh, I did my normal thing. I was awesome in combat. Thanks. Arthur
Yes.
sits there quite happy with himself. How did the other guys go? Did they do well as well, or?
Rudy wouldn't like to talk about it, but he did get ignored for most of the battle.
Did he lose his temper? I missed that. I can't remember anything, and that would have been fun to watch.
It was something. I'm sure you'll see it again.
Nana, I think I need some rest.
Yes, you rest, and I'll watch the fire for a little bit.
Arthur gets up, but he's gonna trip over his seat and sort of shit.
You hear from a distance Rudy go, just like burst out laughing.
Unless anyone has anything else, you are all free to take a long rest.
Yes. Long rest hype.
So, how much was how much is the resurrection?
Yeah.
1,000, I believe.
It is 1,000.
For the right
Yeah.
dead.
1,000, is it? All right.
It is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I added none of the inventory. I
No, I've
assumed
got it
that.
all.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even think I wrote it down.
So Raised Dead is always slotted in Rudy's spell slots, which is good. But yeah, it is. So it's actually 500. Sorry.
Oh, it's Nana's. That's 1,000.
Nana's is
I believe.
1,000.
Oh,
Rudy's
reincarnation
is 500.
is 1,000.
Yeah, because Raised Dead comes with like summoning sickness.
Oh, I forgot I can do that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
the
well,
spell
that's
closes all
500 gold.
mortal
Sweet.
wounds. It doesn't restore missing body parts.
Unfortunate for you.
So I'm pretty sure this one was just cut down. So I don't think. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Not missing any limbs.
Not missing any limbs. So are we next morning or?
Yeah, the morning comes to. The smoke. There's still smoke coming out of the cave, but it's less. And Arthur, since you would have woken up earlier than most, you do spot with your perception as well that there are footprints leading out of the cavern and immediately away. Like just like wet soot burning footprints.
So basically what's going to happen is Arthur's going to call his horse. And he's just going to call it Horsey.
Okay.
Come forth, Horsey. Before he jumps on the horse, he goes, runs into where Rudy's probably sleeping.
Yeah.
Literally,
There's not really any tents pitched anywhere. People
Okay.
are just sleeping under the stars.
All right, he goes up to Rudy, sort of kicks him, and sort of goes, "Wait, Rudy,
What?
Rudy, there's footprints that way.
it's just-
I'm
wait,
going to go
what?
investigate. You can come with, get the
What?
rest of the party, but I'm going."
Footprints. What?
And Arthur runs back to the horse,
what?
jumps on it, and starts riding that way.
You probably just needed to pee.
And as that's happening, Venarian is also like waking up and sees you taking off. And just like moments later, Arthur, you hear like a high-pitched bird call, and you can see Venarian's hawk is like flying above you, following.
Cool.
You're a fucking hero, Arthur.
So we just get this panned view of Arthur like barreling down the hills on a horse, and there's a hawk flying above.
Is it in giant form or just like little form?
Oh, please tell me it's giant.
It's a regular sized
Regular
hawk,
hawk, keep an eye on
technically,
him.
but it's still
Fair
pretty cool
It
to
is pretty
imagine.
cool.
You're not allowed to use the staff of power on the hawk. It's not
I
allowed.
know. I'm rolling to see how many charges it gets back.
Oh, I see.
You follow the footprints for a while, and they keep going for quite a bit. And after a while, you stop, and they get what's the word? Less and less visible
Right.
until you get to a point where you would have to get off the horse and start like actively tracking, which would take a lot longer.
Arthur's gonna do that.
Okay.
For
Feel
about
free to roll survival.
a couple of hours at least.
Yeah, and we'll move back to the party.
17.
Because you're still 17 is good. You find the like footprints in the grass, and you keep following them for a while. But you have to like walk at like a slower pace now.
Yep.
Back in the camp, a few hours pass. The sun starts rising.
Before more people start sort of getting up and moving around, because since Rudy was rudely awakened, he would probably sort of like get himself up, and probably sort of decide, well, I better do this early, so at least he can get some food into him, and that way less people will be gawking. And so, because Gerald has the gemstones on him, or probably has the diamond on him, he's probably.
I think they were in the bag of holding because you chucked
the
everything.
bag of holding.
Oh,
Okay.
good. You have to wake Nana.
Ah, excellent. Well,
Or just open it.
well, would Nana be awake, getting
think,
breakfast going, or?
No, I think I gave Nana all the large items. So the
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's with Gerald.
So it is with Gerald. Okay, cool.
I don't know. What's
So-
in the bag of holding?
So no one knows it's in the bag of holding.
yeah, the flail and the flame tongue scimitar and the paralyzing dagger are in there.
Oh yeah, we got.
So yeah, Rudy would sort of come up to Gerald and just sort of like very politely sort of nudge Gerald awake. No rude kick to the behind this time. Gerald, oh, Gerald, it's just me. Oh, I forgot to put the hood on. Sorry,
Rudy.
Gerald.
You're missing your
sorry.
other eyelid as well now.
Did it drop onto Gerald, or is it just
No.
gone?
Just like when you woke up and rubbed your eye. it
Oh,
fell
okay.
off.
Okay, cool. It's like, look, Gerald, it's just
So it's
me.
just perpetually like.
It's just me, Gerald. It's
You're
just
missing an
me.
eyeball.
What? I'm missing a what?
You're missing an eyeball, Rudy.
No, not that. both. Oh, I don't have any eyelids. The eyes are still there.
Did you say he's missing an eyeball, Josie?
A lid.
Eyelid.
Oh, I
The
thought
eyeball's
I thought
still
a
there.
whole eyeball was just.
That'd be
Okay.
really funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gerald, it's just me. I know I look a little spooky at the moment. It's just me.
Oh, don't
Anyway,
do that.
Look, I was thinking of resurrecting our friend over here before everybody
Oh,
wakes up. That's
Good
all.
idea. Yes. Well, good
Can
luck
I?
with that.
No, Gerald. I need the diamond. I need
oh.
the diamonds.
Oh yes, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many did you need?
All of them.
There you go. I believe there was a 1,000 gold worth of diamonds total. You said.
Excellent. So
I'd like
now,
to imagine that George, with his senses, is like awoken by all the shenanigan happening, and is hearing this discussion about diamonds going on.
Yeah, so I'll give you just the full
Ooh.
1,000, and then you've got enough for 2.
okay, cool. All right, so Rudy
Sounds
will.
good, George.
He probably heard yesterday that it was for resurrection, so he wouldn't touch him.
Okay.
George, the good guy.
I'm just gonna add diamond.
You can steal anything else. Not,
Add
not
diamond
Okay.
to backpack.
Forgot
There we
about
go.
that.
All right, cool.
I also technically can't steal it from him because it's in
Yeah.
the hands of the party right now.
excellent.
Yeah, Nana's got you charmed. You've got no interest.
Oh no!
No, I have interest. It's just in my mind of like, oh,
Just
it's
like,
for resurrection.
oh,
Why
yeah,
should I touch
you
that? That's
know.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
George is a
self-convincing.
sweet boy.
Yeah.
yeah. Because George
I
doesn't
like
know he's charmed. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. I like it.
I feel like Nana might be getting maybe stuff ready at this point. She's like, what are you boys doing up so early?
Oh,
don't
just
mind-
raising the dead, Nana.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all right.
oh, right,
Nothing,
right,
nothing
right.
too out of the ordinary.
I'll get a snack started. Shall I?
Excellent. Raising the dead. I noticed after
They'll
Gerald
be
came
deathly
back.
hungry.
Oh, they will be, as will I. When I raised Gerald, I could almost eat a whole Linorm, honestly. We go over to... Rudy goes over to the body, and this time he does it a little bit more delicately. He sets up some candles. He does the whole... He sort of makes it...
candles.
He's got some stuff.
Does Gerald say that out loud?
Yeah.
You're lucky you even came back! I had never done it before when I resurrected you.
Are you saying I was your first, Rudy?
You were my first, Gerald. Don't know how that could be
Arthur is
misconstrued.
not here to hear this.
Oh, Bishop is peril.
Oh, I feel honored.
Is under attack.
Well,
Oh, no.
Fanfic
makes you-
when?
if it makes you feel
I
any
mean,
better,
it was a little awkward for me as well, but I'm much happier that it happened this way than not at all.
Did you want to see it happen so you know how you came back?
I would love to watch. Yes.
Yeah? Do you have a bucket?
A bucket?
Oh, don't worry
I'm sure
about it.
I have
You'll
a
be fine.
container or
And with this,
something.
Rudy casts revive dead. Restore. Sorry, what was the spell again? Raise dead. Rudy casts raise dead before Gerald can say anything else.
How long casting time does it have?
The casting time? That's a good question. It is instantaneous. Duration instantaneous. It's a touch spell, so you know what? No,
No, casting time 1 hour.
Oh, duration is instantaneous. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so it takes an hour. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 1 hour long ritual.
Okay, right. Okay. Well, in this case, so with the Gerald resurrection, Rudy
That
just
was
kind of like
Revivify, right?
it was, yeah. So yeah, Rudy just kind of slammed the diamond into his chest. This time he's gonna do this. It's like similar thing, like rest the diamond on like the wound that like actually killed the poor fellow, and like essentially, I'd like to note he like slowly sinks the diamond in to the wound, and then when it's like in like when it's
There's
gone.
multiple little ones, so you could like line the wound.
Yeah. That's even more. That works as well. And when they're in, that's when the shenanigans happen.
And for those who watch, there's almost like, instead of the wound just closing, it looks over the hour, these diamonds turn into this they start changing form. They almost look like cells dividing, and they turn into these little eggs that eventually hatch into maggots that then start hatching into flies. And as like this swarm of flies crawl out of the wound, and then they scatter and fly away, the wound is gone, and the body starts stirring, and you see like an eye opens. And there's a moment where the eyes still look glazed over, and then after a few blinks, like the color returns, and just
And the first thing it sees is Rudy's face, right?
yeah.
Oh, no.
There we go. All better. Good as new. Well, come on. Breakfast is over there. Let's go.
Oh,
Oh,
somebody
don't mind the dirt on your. Yeah, there's got a little bit something there. And Rudy like pats off his shoulder and then hops up and turns to probably a very green-looking Gerald.
Oh, does this
It's
person
just like-
remember that he talked to Rudy at all?
Sorry,
No,
what was that? Cuddly?
Because it's not when you use Speak Dead, you don't actually talk to the soul. You talk to the memories in the body.
Oh, so this person has no,
No
idea.
idea.
That's
No.
fantastic. Oh, I hate it. Okay.
So we still ask permission, but we ask permission from an empty husk of a
Oh
body.
no!
Well, no,
Make that more.
because technically it's their memories,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah,
well,
like,
essentially
if
it's
the will
still
to return would have been there. The
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
that's what the body expresses.
Yeah.
Well,
But this person like slowly sits up, and people start coming over and talking, like very carefully helping him up. And you would know from casting the spell, Rudy, that this person is gonna have gonna be a couple of days before they're back to like feeling properly themselves.
That's fine. Hey, better than dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
What is
few days
George
bed rest.
doing during all of this? Like as breakfast is being prepared, as Rudy is doing this ritual, Gerald is observing.
horrified, checking.
I
He's
just
checking
imagine
his,
Gerald
he's
Gerald
checking
is
his
just
chest for like maggots now.
yeah, no, Gerald is just Sully in Monsters Inc. seeing like the trash compactor. Like,
Every step of the way.
so true.
is that basically what happened to you as well, just very quickly?
Oh, and Rudy would now be like, because he's seen it, would be describing it in such like level of detail. It's like, and it happened in fast forward, so you can imagine the absolute mess it made all over your chest.
They're not. There's not still. They're not still in there, are they?
Oh,
George, what are you doing when this is happening?
Well, George wanted to talk to Nana, but Nana is currently AFK.
Okay, yeah.
George
Will-
wanted a
will-
muffin.
You want a muffin? Okay, we'll go to
Yeah.
Arthur while we wait for Nana to return.
Okay.
Arthur, you keep tracking, and you've now been riding what looks like north for 2 hours, 3 hours. It's getting harder to track, but the prints are definitely there. And it seems like there's roads around, there's scatterings of hills, forest, you see some wild game around, but these footprints seem to be heading in a constant direction.
Right. Is there any way I can tell what made the footprints?
Humanoid. They look like boots.
Boots.
Yeah,
Okay.
boots.
Arthur sort of looks up to the bird and
Mhm.
sort of waits for it to come down.
Yeah, if you signal to it, it does come down.
And then Arthur's
lands-
gonna
Lands on the saddle of the horsey.
Arthur's gonna speak with animals.
hmm
Hey, can you look? I don't know how good your eyes are, but could you see any footprints that I've been tracking, sort of similar, while you're up there, or can you? Also, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I could see the prints you were tracking, Arthur. However, I feel like whatever made these tracks probably has a few hours advantage on us still.
Dang it, I
We're
was
probably
afraid.
catching up though. We're probably catching up though if we do right. They seem to be heading in a constant direction, so it's possible to just beeline that way and see if we come across anything, but who knows how long it's gonna take. And dawn has cracked, Arthur. The rest will be heading back soon. I will be turning back soon.
I really want to figure out what this is. Look, let's head back. Whatever it is, I dare say we'll probably run into it again. Whatever it is. Would you like the ride on the horse on the way back?
No, thank you. And just like starts flapping, but does fly closer down, like
Yeah.
coasting near.
And Arthur's gonna just make small talk to it while we're on the way back, just like, so how's it like to fly? That seems like a pretty cool thing.
It is very nice. It's a bit more effort down here where the winds aren't as prominent.
Oh, I'm
Just like
sorry.
he's flapping like a lot more.
I'm sorry. You know, if you want to go where it's a little bit more easy, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I'll see you when we arrive. And just
Okay.
like coasts upwards and starts flying off.
Yeah. Arthur makes his way back.
Making
Yeah.
friends with more birds? What does Madeline think?
Well, Nana's no time to think about that because George wants to have a conversation.
Ah! Yes, with Nana.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
All right.
I heard you were the one in charge of food. I'd like a muffin. And he holds his hand out because he has no other way of knowing how to ask politely for something at this point from like this realm. He's just like, muffin, please.
Now, George, are you sure you want a muffin, or do you maybe want 2 muffins?
Make it 3. Kids are hungry.
Oh, I see. And then she gives him actually 4.
He kind of plops one in his mouth and goes, "Thank you," and then starts heading over to the while just like nomming on the muffin in his mouth and 3 other muffins in his hands.
And Nana just like shakes his head in that like he's a sweet boy kind of way.
He means well.
He means well, and he does. He's feeding the kiddos.
Do you actually give muffins to the kids?
Yes, he does. He's telling the truth this time.
Yeah, yeah.
This time.
Aw.
This time. See, when he has kids involved, he's
Yeah, it's
sweet.
totally not guilt-ridden.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
killing their protector.
that is
Yeah.
very. Look, he shouldn't be though. It was nobody's fault. It was just a flail of. Not even a flail's fault. It was
I mean-
whatever it was.
Who knows? That boss Noel might have just like swung the flail at them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guys,
Or
totally...
he probably was.
or he might not have, and they might still be here to this day. We just don't know.
Wow, wow, wow! You really did that.
Harsh.
That's fine.
Wow.
Harsh. Wow. Wow. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, eventually camp is like put down. People gather up and like everyone has breakfast. They check in with their recently revived friend. And then after a while Arthur returns, like galloping up the hill on Horsey.
That was the longest pee I've ever clocked you ever doing, Arthur. Where have you been?
I told you I was chasing footprints from the cave.
You told Rudy
That
you
is
let
not.
Arthur run off by his when he
I
got
kicked you and I said
No,
footprints that direction
I-
from
no.
cave and ran.
I clearly heard that Rudy. Yeah, first of all, I was kicked awake. Just want to point that out. Second of all, I heard I'm going to pee.
Rudy.
What? Why are you? That's a
I think
menacing.
you're missing an eyelid.
Can I call this bullshit?
Like, he's
George is going to be
obviously
watching this and eating his muffin
obviously
like
like,
popcorn.
it's so much bullshit. It's just like smack talk.
Okay.
Well, okay, Arthur. Did you find these footprints, and did you find who made them?
No, I did not. And it looks like they had a few hours on top of my me discovering, so it was going to take way too long to be able to find whatever it was. But it was humanoid, and they looked boots-like. Now, I'm not sure what we fought down there that was humanoid and boot-like. My dreams vaguely sort of tells me we fought something that killed my wife, and it was quite a big being.
There was a gnoll, a very big gnoll, and then a nasty wolf.
Looking at like what Arthur points out, there are indeed almost like scourge mark boot shaped prints that lead out of the cave and down the hill.
Scorch
Oh, no.
marks.
Yeah,
I'm assuming I'm there as well for this, right?
Fuck, it's
yeah, they look like wet, but also like they're burnt.
and
I
there's
didn't-
still fire in the cave, so we can't go.
I
Yeah,
don't think anything could survive that. Where were they hiding?
What, the thing that we killed?
No, the thing that came out of the cave that
Might
was
I remind
on
everyone
fire.
that we did lose a hostage down there. If the record is holding the same,
Oh, Nana, that is a good point.
How long would it take to get back to the cavern that we fought the boss in? The boss no.
Oh, Nana, that is a good point.
Maybe like 15 minutes now that you know the way, but there's still smoke going out of the cavern.
Would smoke inhalation count? What would that like? Just wondering if Rudy could use his
Do I have
pick
anything?
and use the Shroud of the Afterlife. Would that give him any protection against
Yeah,
smoke?
because smoke inhalation is considered a poison.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I could just nip down there if you guys are worried about this. I'll just cast, I'm protected from those sorts of effects sometimes. I could just go down there and check if our unfortunate hostage got back
Or
up.
there's
Well,
another idea.
Yes,
Why don't-
George?
Nana's obviously can polymorph. She did it in the fight yesterday. Why didn't she just polymorph you into something that can deal with smoke?
That could also work.
This is a very good idea, George.
But what I do doesn't expend any energy, so to speak. Whereas what Nana does would expend energy, as in her energy.
Arthur starts putting his hand up. Hey, Nana,
slot.
I'll go with him. I'll go with Rudy. I want to be changing this up, and that sounds like
Can
it'd be
you
pretty
breathe
cool.
in smoke? Yeah, maybe, Jay. Actually,
I
that's a good
don't
idea.
know that there's a creature that really can breathe in smoke.
I
actually, is there?
don't know that we really need to do this at all. I think Nana probably hit the nail on the head there. Because we went in, we didn't see anything on the way down, we didn't see anything on the way up, and we took care of everything else. So
I
the
don't
only
think it would hurt to check if they would like to go.
I
but
mean, hey, if they want to go into burning Blood Town, I mean,
Yeah.
far be it from me
the
to
first
stop
sign
them.
of danger, you're turning back. If it's anything other than smoke, you're turning back.
Arthur,
Yes. Yeah. Why?
if you're coming with me at the
Yes.
first sign of anything that's not burning blood,
Yes.
we're turning back.
Okay. Why are you saying it like that?
No if, buts, or claws about it.
Can I just say though, I think we're missing out an important facet because I think Nana is far more right than any of us realize. Because if you remember back in Bora, they all of the undead had a very fixed direction to them. Remember, they were all heading. Yes, Nana's got it. They were all heading towards one location to gather an army.
Does
Wait.
Arthur, when he
And
was
and I'm pretty sure from the seams of things that Nana's explanation is the only one that fits. Therefore, what if this is heading towards another undead army on this continent?
Is Venerian with us?
Yeah, Venerian is
I
listening.
hope he is at this point.
Thought so.
He's just listening.
I bet his mind is blown. Does Arthur know like the direction, like north southwest, that this thing was going, so that I can relay that?
Oh, I reckon you would have.
Very much north, almost like true north.
Okay. Well,
But I will.
Gerald. Oh, sorry. Gerald. Look, it was pretty much north.
Was it
tracks
was it
were heading.
moving unusually straight, or did it seem naturally? Did the movement seem natural, or was it like an arrow?
Well, look, I would dare say at first it was not, but then it was pretty much towards the end when it was harder to track where the footprints were, I could deduce it was heading in a direction.
While this discussion's going, Rudy has cast Shroud of the Afterlife and walked into the cave.
Okay.
There.
Gerald wouldn't notice anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Nah.
right now Arthur's not going to notice until you.
Yeah,
go.
no,
Yeah,
Rudy's
yeah.
just walked off. He's given Venerian a nod and just walked into the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it was pretty much that direction, Gerald.
And you can walking in, you're still breathing in smoke, and you can feel like the thickness in your lungs, but it's not bothering you. But you can feel like it's there.
Right,
And you
to
go
remember this
inside,
trick for
and
later.
you go inside, and while there's a lot of smoke, you come down, and there's a few puddles of this burning blood still, and it's like just faintly sizzling away, like it's burning itself away, generating this smoke.
It is mildly disconcerting, but not the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, you keep heading in. How far in do we want to go?
He's going to check to see if the hostage has gotten up and walked out.
If you're going all the way in, how long does Shroud of the Afterlife last?
Ooh, that's a good question. Ah, that might be a problem. Only a minute.
So you go in and then realize.
Power walk.
Rudy would like
Polymorph
to
is looking like
sprint.
Make a Constitution save as
Fair
Shroud of the
enough.
Afterlife
That
wears
makes
off.
sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
At this point, Arthur probably would realize Rudy's gone. Oh,
You are considered. You have the poisoned condition. That's it for now.
That's okay. He'll keep going.
he'll keep going. Nana, Rudy's gone. Can you change me? I really think that'd be pretty cool.
No, I can do something a little better. Nana is gonna summon. Fucking ask for this, Rudy. We're summoning a black bear to go and get you out of there, you stupid idiot.
Wait, what? A
A
black,
black bear.
Yeah,
Hang on.
Nana made a choice. Like if you weren't, like she wasn't sure if you weren't back in 5 minutes.
Here, I thought you were
Um,
gonna summon Mephits on him.
But we know it takes 15 minutes to get in there. What?
Nah. You're gonna kill yourself. You're an idiot.
You would
We're
also
sending
know
in a
that
black
as
bear to just
you
see.
would also
He's
know
already
that
dead.
you
Don't
would
worry.
also have to go through all the smoke.
Sorry, what was that, Jesse?
That Nana would know that if you send in a bear, the bear would also still have to like go through all the smoke.
Yeah, but she's hoping that, she can get him
Okay.
back out before he,
Okay.
is a,
Yeah.
let me just do the thing. We're
So we
sending
send a
Rudy.
bear after me.
Hey, don't fight, man. I don't think I can summon a salamander or whatever, so, yeah, we're summoning a
Yeah,
bear.
Is there anything you can summon that's poison immune?
I don't really think so. I have poisonous things, but not necessarily poison.
Ah,
Oh. Okay, you're sending in a black bear,
Yeah, just to check on him.
and I need you to make a Constitution save for the bear.
Yes, let me do that. Let's see here. Constitution.
You barely make it. Terms. Yes.
we get one back for that.
Fine, I'll give you one back for that.
Yes.
Oof.
10.
All right. It's 10.
The bear is also considered poisoned. It's a condition that just says you have disadvantage on, I believe it is attack rolls and saving throws.
Wait, we
hits.
don't even take health damage?
Oh, you don't take. Oh, okay. Well, then.
No,
Not
not
yet.
yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
not yet.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
fair enough.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. Zero runs.
As
in.
you have a few minutes on them, Rudy, you head deeper in still. You get past like where you blinded a witherling. You just keep trekking.
Yeah, he has cast light as well on his.
Yeah,
on his
give me
shields.
another Constitution save. And there is
Oh.
light because there's these puddle of like
Mm.
burning blood here and there.
Ah.
So sometimes you have to like step over them or walk around them.
With
Jesus.
disadvantage,
Oh.
may I remind you?
Oh,
you
with
have
disadvantage.
Because you're
Because
poisoned.
Well, the 12. No, that's. Oh,
That's
ah.
even worse.
Uh-oh.
So you do take 9 points of poison damage.
That is okay. Rudy can take 9 points of poison damage.
Ooh.
That is fine.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Uh,
if this is the way that Rudy dies?
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
so
it's
funny.
so
Are you all
fucking bad.
forgetting Rudy can just heal himself?
Yeah, but you know, knowing
It's
you,
true.
you probably fudge the roll.
You get to the chamber where you fought Faran. And there is still like where there was this underground like bream or brook that just flowed through. That divot in the ground is now filled with this burning blood. The little bridge is still intact, and on the other side in the corner you can see a charred skeleton.
Huh. That is. Well, I look forward to telling Gerald that he is wrong, first of all. And yes, he is speaking this out loud.
And the stone basin is gone.
That is to be expected. I feel like that was the catalyst for the spell. So the corpse of the gnoll was reduced to just its skull, like the big boss gnoll. He was
Yes,
just
there
a
was
skull.
only a skull left.
Is the skull still where Arthur dropped it?
Yes, and it's completely charred, and there's only like half of it left that's been burned away. It's currently lying in the burning blood.
Okay, so it's probably not safe to pick up. Okay.
No.
And what about the corpse of the wolfy thing that Rudy yelled at?
That thing turned to it burned up after it died.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Okay, so there is and the pile like of bodies and whatnot. The pyre, that's all.
It's still there.
Yeah.
It's been reduced in volume, but it's still there.
Okay.
And I would like another con save for the bear.
Oh.
Yes.
Con save for the bear and a con save for Rudy. Disadvantage for
Another one for Rudy. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Disadvantage for both, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. That's the first roll.
First one was. Oh,
Ooh, that was almost a natural one. 8 was mine.
8.
Mine.
You take
Yep, mine was an 8 as well. And let's see what the second one is. Oh, what? Roll, you fool! There we go.
Sorry, do I take another 9?
No, you took an. I said a number. Can't remember it. I'm gonna reroll.
You cut out when you said the number. Sorry.
Okay, 6.
Ah, what a shame. A fucking 22. That would have been great.
That
The
means
first time around.
disadvantage.
It was an 8,
sadly.
yeah.
So 4 points of poison damage to the black bear.
That should be fine.
And
It is
Rudy,
fine.
as you're turning around, heading upwards, you come face to face with a black bear in the middle of the cavern. It's like coughing and wheezing and cheering from the eyes.
Well, you are definitely not meant to be down here, which
And
means
it sort of like walks around and starts nudging you in the back upward.
Oh, you're definitely a nana bear. Okay, all right. No, stop that. Hold on. First things first. Rudy casts. Rudy casts Cure Wounds on the bear.
And it gives you a little lick on the face.
11 points to the bear.
Yep.
So the bear
That is
heals
more than
up.
the bear ever would need in its whole fucking
Now
life.
we can go. Now that you're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, and so just like nudging you on, keeps walking.
Stop that.
Waddles
That's
after you.
untended there. There's less fat there than there used to be.
Yeah. Eventually, Rudy comes up. You can hear him before you see him as he's being
Stop
knocked out.
that. No, don't bite that. That's yours to bite. Nana, call your bear off.
Nope.
Yeah, and you get up, you come out of the cavern, and it's been like half an hour or something like that.
Okay, first things first, I told you all I'd be fine. Second things second, Gerald, unfortunately,
Mm.
our corpse is still in the cavern, completely charred on the ground. I don't know what to tell you. Everything was accounted for.
But what would have came out of the cave with those boots?
Unfortunately, it's a little tricky to stay in there for anyone else aside from me, so I wasn't able to, like, really explore, so I don't think there were any hidden passageways we missed.
Now I'm just imagining the fact that like the watery eyes you get of getting smoke in your
Yeah.
face, but you have no eyelids to blink with, so it's like just flooded.
Just
Rotting.
running down.
So he'd have, like, sooty, like, smoke, like, covered skin, except for,
Yeah.
like, 2 trails down
Yeah,
here.
it looks like he's been crying with non-water resistant makeup on.
I love it.
Oh, dear. So, I don't know what to say, but we don't know what it was.
Could it be that thing that I killed?
Nope, the skull was still on the ground.
And it burned. The rest of it burnt away while we were down there.
Correct.
What could it possibly have been then?
The,
Maybe something. Did something go in there and then come out?
Gerald,
While
with
we
your
were watching?
intelligence, you would realize that these are full boot prints. So whatever these boots were made of, they must have been resistant to all that fire.
And they were made for
No, no.
walking.
They were made for.
And that
'Cause
is just what they'll do. Yeah.
I stopped myself from making the joke, and I knew someone else was going to.
Because one day,
Well, I'm at a loss then. If it was tracking a path incredibly true, that I mean, the logic seems to say that might have been an undead thing or some sort of a thing that was being controlled, or it just knew which way it wanted to go very precisely.
How?
I'm at a
Gerald,
loss now.
Gerald, did the big green eye guy, was he wearing boots?
No, he died, Arthur. This
No,
is
no,
what
no,
we
no,
told...
no, but was he wearing boots?
I don't.
He was a skull after you did the final blow. He
I don't
literally
remember.
disintegrated.
Oh, he got stuck
No,
in
he
that
wasn't.
thing though.
Yeah, he was pulled into
Yeah.
the fire.
Oh, yeah.
And I did
oh.
turn him into a human
Oh.
for some reason. I should have just
Then
done
Arthur
it
sort of
right.
turns around and goes, was he wearing boots, guys? Does anyone remember if he was
Okay.
wearing
Fuck,
boots?
I
What
don't know. I
check?
Was
I mean,
it?
he
I
was
mean,
wearing
I haven't-
armor.
Yeah, what check would
No
we need?
boots.
No
No
boots?
boots.
There were no
Alright.
boots.
Hmm.
And I got rid of the fire as well.
The whole caravan of guild members are like getting ready to leave, and they're
Mm.
just waiting for you now.
We should probably continue this discussion on the way.
Yes, I'm keen to get away from the cave. So, yeah, let's go. Well,
Arthur jumps on
It's
Horsey.
your voice.
The bear that Nana summoned has seen Bjorn and is a little smitten.
For half an hour before it disappears.
I'm just like trying to like sidle up next to it and walk next to it and be like, "Oh, I'm a bear."
Nana, while we're on our way back, we need to have a discussion about your animal manners.
I sent him in just to look at, just to see how he was doing. I said 5 minutes, and if he's not back in 5 minutes, now I didn't take into account that it takes a while to get down there, but I was worried about you, and rightfully so. You looked like you came out crying. I don't know what you saw in there.
Crying? I don't... oh.
You do? Yeah.
Oh. Does anyone have a... is there a washcloth in
Yeah.
here?
I don't want it back.
allow me. I'll prestidigitation and give him a bit of a dust off.
Thank you, Gerald.
But you gather up with the rest of the caravan of people, start like trekking their way back, and everyone seems to be in good morale after this. Like everyone made it through one way or the other. You have the 2 kids, and the kids are being led back towards Ebonspire, and there's a break off. A few of the guild members break off to go scout the the farms where they came from, where the gnolls had raided, to make sure it's safe before anything. So the kids are coming back to Ebonspire with all of you. And as
Nana
you're, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say Nana wants to sort of sidle up to George during their little walk back, and sort of have a little quiet conversation with him and say, "Now, George, I just think you ought to be thanked. You did a very brave thing getting those children out of harm's way, and I think that you proved us all wrong, George. I think there's some very sweet heart in there."
Told you guys I'm a good guy.
He gets a little
A very
cheek
good
pinch.
guy. Oh, maybe you can tell the hat guy to stop being mean. Rude.
I'll put in a good word.
I have a name.
You'll get a name when you start being nice.
I'll start being nice when you stop being a thief.
I'm not a thief. I borrow.
Rudy puts a hand on Gerald's shoulder and goes, "Gerald, you're not going to win this one. Just let it go."
Let it go.
Speaking of money,
let it
though,
go.
it is after the battle, and I'm waiting for the other half of. Okay.
Yes, we will probably sort that out when we all get back to the guild hall. I assume they'll have payments for us, and yes, don't let me forget. Don't let me wander off with it.
Oh, don't worry, I won't let you forget.
All right.
I earned that gold. He kind of calls back, "Don't forget about my bonus," to Rudy.
Is that a bone joke? That's a bone joke.
What did you all agree to pay this rascal?
It's Rascal who did rescue 2 hostages, Gerald.
I mean, we could have done that.
I know, but he didn't have to. He could have just stood behind Arthur and just cast spells.
You know, all right, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one, George.
Oh, what am I getting?
Paid!
Oh, good.
So Arthur's gonna be on the horse, but because obviously the horse can steer its own, he's gonna be like this, but this time he's gone Samantha, not realizing he's healing.
Oh my god.
Gerald kind of like leans over to Rudy and goes like, "Is he okay?"
But
Gerald,
then
that is not a question to ask me.
so after a little while, you see Arthur get frustrated, and he goes Samantha, and the claws come out, and then because he got happy, they disappeared again.
Gerald, am I okay? Did we all just...
She fell off his horse in surprise. Or like pops the horse like a balloon. Oh shit.
Well, the horse has already been around for a few hours, so it won't last the whole day.
Oh, good.
So yeah, poor timing, but the horse disappears when your claws come out.
Shing.
This prompts another ha! from Rudy as he goes by on his horse.
Arthur was so happy the claws happened, but they disappeared, and he's like, "Oh dang it! God damn Samantha!" And they're back again. Ah! Oh.
Just stuck in a loop.
Yeah, just like in a loop, essentially.
It's like just a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah. People do start avoiding Arthur when that's happening, like making a little bit of a bow.
I think I understand how these work now.
Let's get angry.
Yes. Or maybe I can always be angry. That way I can use them whenever I want.
That
Nightfalls.
sounds exhausting.
Just around nightfall, you see Ebonspire in the distance. You've seen the spire itself for a while, but the city is now visible as you come over some hills. You come near, there's lights. And coming from this side, you can see what looks like a large structure with like two massive stone chimneys that has like big plumes of smoke. And then nearby, you see a large wooden platform and something that glistens faintly in the sunset that just goes off into the distance to the northeast.
Oh, that would be the train we're going to get on soon, right?
Well, you can see the platform and the train tracks, but not the train itself.
Oh.
So not the little glistening thing. What?
Possibly
Yeah,
dragon.
no, the glistening thing was just like the train tracks. Like
Oh,
you see the
Oh,
reflection
sorry.
of
When
the
you
train
said
tracks.
goes to the northeast, I thought it like flitted off. And
Yeah.
I was
No.
like,
Yeah, I
"Train
thought it was
tracks
like
don't do that."
No,
like
no,
a
sorry.
metallic
That was
dragon flying off.
no. The train tracks are like visible.
Gotcha.
Well, those would be
But
the
you-
tracks that we're going to travel on.
Monorail.
Monorail.
But yeah, so as you arrive in the city, we're gonna take our quick little break, and we will
Yes, because I
regroup.
need to
Ooh,
pee.
that is actually a good idea. I also need to
Great
run to the little
idea.
Froze room. Wait, is anyone staying? I don't.
I will be, yes.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
You're staying
Just
I'll-
while
I'll
you
do-
guys go do your thing, and then
Sweet.
once you're back,
I'll
go
do my thing.
Chat,
do my
I'm
thing. I'll be right
leaving
back.
you in Arthur's
nothing
very,
else to do.
very incapable clawed hands.
There you go.
It's okay. I'll be here too, Ozzy.
All right,
Gouda,
we'll leave
you-
it in good hands.
Gouda, you're in charge of
Matlock
orb,
Express,
and
yes.
and there we go. Excellent, cool. Thank
There
you.
we go. Now that we've
Hey,
established the
Matlock.
hierarchy here, Gouda, you're in charge. Yes, always in charge of
All right.
Now that Josie's good, does that
I-
mean I'm a babysitter? Not a babysitter.
Warby sitter.
Josie's been here. It doesn't count as a pun, right?
No, and also I will tell you, Josie doesn't count puns that are typed in chat because I definitely did that. And we're still at
Yeah,
two.
I learned that
so.
too. There were so many puns I almost said.
And then you just type them in, and then she can't check
Yeah. Cause like, remember when Roju was like, "Hi charisma" and then hide, and I was like, "Oh, he puts the hi and hide."
out.
I can't believe I went over to you, and I'm like, oh, that's all right. George sort of likes Arthur, so maybe you would explain what's happening.
No,
I know it's George.
George is like, whatever was happening to you was your problem, man. Like, not mine.
No, it's not just that. George doesn't know what's going on. How is he supposed to know? One, he can't fully see what's going on with you. He sees that maybe you have claws, but also not as sprouted claws. He doesn't know you guys. He doesn't know that this isn't normal. Like, plus, who's to say George even knows what a werewolf is?
Well, that's true. That's
He's
true.
blind. So how is George supposed to help? Like, in this case, all he can really do is be like, well, you're telling me things that seem to be werewolfy, so yes? Question mark?
I just pulled up AussieDevFro's chat for a second, and he's put in there, every session I get more and more worried about Arthur. Now he has claws. Come on. I think the people we should be worrying about is clearly Rudy, guys. He's losing his body.
Literally falling apart.
He's literally falling apart. I've just grown claws, so I don't know why he's worried
They're
about
not
me.
the
Jeez.
opposite of falling apart when you gain new body parts.
Yeah, look, I'm getting stronger. He's
Yeah, you're coming together and he's falling apart.
exactly. That is just a time. But Gouda,
Mm-hmm.
how much money are you trying to get out of us?
Just what's due.
What's due? Okay.
Yeah. Just the other 75 that Nana promised George, and then the 50 from Rudy that he promised.
Right.
And to be fair, Rudy
Okay.
offered 50 when George only asked for 10. So
Well, that is clearly Rudy's fault.
yeah, why would George say no though? Like,
Yeah.
would anyone say no if they're gonna get like a Christmas bonus?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly. That's at that point, just taking enough.
I'm back.
You
Hi back. I'm
Mind
here.
Meld is here. I'm gonna go to the little orbs room.
Yeah,
Okay.
get out of here.
Changing of the shifts.
The shifts have changed.
Orby was just asking how much money George is trying to get from him. And I'm like, just what I was asked, I was promised rather.
I return.
All the money.
All the money.
No, I think between both Nana and Rudy, we offered George the same amount that any other guild member was being paid.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
So Rudy can give him 50, and Nana props another 75.
Correct.
Okay.
That was what we said.
Yeah, which
Don't
I can
If you got
Rudy
can
has
pay
a-
over now, but I'd rather just wait till I get the whole thing, and then I can just do it all at once.
Mhm.
Speaking of,
yeah.
are we backish? No, we're not really.
No,
back yet.
we're ran off. So I
Orb's
was gonna
full.
do a quick recap because we got some newcomers in chat that just
Hey.
filed in.
Hello, newcomers.
We love
Welcome
newcomers.
in.
Hello.
Not newcomer, but people who showed up within like the last 15-20 minutes.
Well, we
Missed
love you guys
everything.
too.
The campaign's
You're
over.
all awesome.
I
don't
stand
listen
by
to the
my
Gummy
hello.
Raptor. I don't. You're all fantastic.
Wow. Karen says, I'm not new to coming.
Oh.
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 I'm
Like
putting
into
an
a Twitch
uwu
chat.
I'm
That's
putting an
really
uwu in
cool.
chat for that.
I
There's
always
an
go into
uwu.
Twitch chats.
No,
I'm not
it was
Twitch.
spelled
Oh, well.
the R-rated way.
I don't get it. Explain it to me
Boo-boo.
more.
Okay, I will.
Do the recap,
So,
Josie. Do the
In
recap,
great
please.
detail.
The word
No,
coming.
Please do the recap, Josie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to go. My mom is calling me. Bye.
Cuddly, come back. I miss you.
Siri isn't your
Okay.
mom, Cuddly.
No, I'm her mom.
But no, so far today in the session, the party has debriefed what happened in the cavern to the guildmaster. They talked to the person who sadly fell during combat and got consent to resurrect them, which they then did. They also found some footprints that Arthur tracked for a few hours and then decided to turn back before it was too late. George is showing his soft sides, and Gerald is stressed.
When is he not, though? So. How does-
And
so
Rudy
everything's
is
normal.
even less.
Oh,
Rudy,
man.
there's
Excuse
even
me,
less of Rudy
I
I
around.
would say Rudy is more of a Rudy than he was when he started this campaign. But if we're
Unless I'm a
talking
man.
physically, then yes, there is less Rudy to go.
He's
with.
literally beside himself.
Too stressed to be blessed.
Oh, I feel that.
Ugh.
But
Exactly.
yeah. So
Definitely.
I know we're waiting for Orb still, but going forward, you have 3 days before you are supposed to or present yourselves to the Queen and then go to the train. And
Yeah.
I know that there's some stuff to pick up. There's some items. You
mhm.
also now have some money if you want to go do some shopping
Yes.
because you didn't
I was waiting
look
for
around
Arthur
all the
to,
places. But yeah,
Give people the split.
Hmm.
so for
that-
brevity's sake, you arrive. It's very late when you arrive. You all get paid. You get your money from the guild.
How much did we get paid?
I'm gonna have to look at my notes. To be honest,
200, I think.
whatever
I
amount.
believe it was 200 each.
200 makes sense.
200 platinum.
No.
200
No.
copper.
Nice. 200
Copper.
gold. Can't imagine that. Yeah,
Yes, it was 200 each.
Okay. But George can add 75, and I'm just going to add. I'm just going
Yes.
to take that
Rudy
off.
would also split out 50 of it and give it to George as well.
Nice, nice.
Bye.
And now I'm
Arthur
asking,
we-
did George get 200 from the guild?
No,
Okay.
George does not get paid by the guild. That's why they were paying you.
I didn't think so,
Did
but
you?
I went to see if
You would have needed to
Persuasion
join the
I
check.
can just imagine he just stands in line for his pay anyway. He'd just be like,
Yeah.
Marian's just like,
he,
no.
he lines up and they sort of
Please,
just
sir,
glare
can
at
I
him.
have some more?
yeah, that's exactly what I was going with that.
exactly.
I
But
could
yeah.
also. Yeah, that's good.
The evening, you all get paid. You get your money from the guild. Venarian says he has to go report to the queen about what happened. He's also waiting for to hear back from the scouts that went to check out the farms. And it's getting late. It's like late is it's a long shot, but it's getting closer to like 9 p.m. and the sun has gone down fully by now. And unless there's anything specific, let me know what you want to do.
Yeah,
Think-
Gerald would wait for a time where George is not around the rest of the party
Okay.
to divvy out the contents of the coin box that we got
Mhm.
down in the thing. So split it between us. I calculated it, and you should have. Let's see here. So that'll be 262 gold.
Okay.
Each.
262 gold.
And
Add.
then if I split that, that actually makes it
Arthur needs to spend his money. Jeez.
67 silver. And 225 copper.
No, I just got my coppers down. What the fuck? Oh, I like paid in like pennies for this one stupid thing so I can get rid of all the coppers.
Oh dear.
And then with the gems, there's 1,250 gold worth of gems each.
Oh, what kind
Right.
of gems?
You would have
I
to
guess
check
I
with
guess
Percy.
we'll just sell them.
Yeah.
Well, the gems gems are kind of like just a more convenient form of currency because they take up a lot like less space, and less
Mm.
weight. Not that we're dealing with actual coin weight in this game,
I was gonna say I
mechanically,
don't feel
but
like we're
like,
not.
but just,
Yeah,
just for
that-
like imagination's purpose, like the
Yeah.
gems are just like, you know, an easier
Alright,
way to count large
Did,
amounts.
we used all the diamonds from those gems though, right?
No, we used
Rudy
half
has
of them.
Rudy has taken all the diamonds from the gems. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what was that? One.
So this is
something?
this is the split, not including the diamonds. So the diamonds
Yes.
were I put as a separate amount.
Mhm.
So that was 1,000 that was just Rudy for diamond use, and then the other 5,000 is split. So that's 1,250 in gems each.
Okay.
Where do I put that? Do I just put that in notes
As
somewhere?
you could put it as an item.
You can put it as an item, or you could just put it as gold. Yeah.
Oh, I'll
mean,
just do that. That
yeah.
must be much better.
I'm probably gonna.
Um,
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm gonna
trade
be
it.
that person. Can you say that again for the last time?
Yeah. That's why I wrote it down.
Ah.
200 so it's 262 gold.
Yep.
Then 67 silver,
Yep.
225 copper,
Yep.
and then 1,250 gold worth of gems.
That split the gems. Sweet.
That is what you get off the gems. Yeah. That is your split.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, is there anything else that your characters want to do this evening?
I do have a quick question for you, but it's something that I think I should put in a DM. Do you mind if I DM you a question real quick, or should I just say it out loud?
Just say it.
Is now a good time for George to say goodbye,
That's up to you.
or should I wait?
That's
I don't want to
that's
mess up
you.
story things. Okay.
Don't be.
No, that's completely up to George.
All right, George. Probably the time that Gerald would be able to find his time away from George would be after George said something about, all right, I got him paid. I did the thing. Peace. It was nice seeing you, and you. And you can probably tell who he points to at which part.
Wait, what did I do? I've been.
Nana was the first one. Arthur was the second. Rudy, and then Gerald.
I
Yay!
thought so.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even looking. I assumed.
Likewise, George. Honestly, I think you are definitely growing on us. If you need any assistance and you can find your way to us, don't hesitate. you're definitely, you've got a good head on those shoulders. And then Rudy like elbows George for saving those hostages.
Oh, yeah, the kids, yeah.
Yeah, did you say elbowing George or Gerald?
Oh, Gerald. Sorry, I meant to say
No,
Gerald.
oh,
My
okay.
bad.
I
No, my bad. Oh
I
no.
think
It has
it's
a whole different
contextually
context
you
now.
probably
Yeah, it
meant
does,
me,
doesn't
but-
it? Meant to say
but you said
Gerald George.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
too
it was
many
Gerald.
G's.
Gerald, yeah.
You weren't completely terrible this time, George.
You're saying I was last time?
Yes. No hesitation.
George,
It
please,
was like
he's-
immediately yes.
George, he's trying. Please, just go.
I wouldn't. And he sort of looks at Nana and Rudy, like pointedly, like this is for you. I wouldn't mind it if we saw each other again in the future and perhaps had an opportunity to build more trust.
Trust is a hard commodity, but I guess you're not the worst person in the world.
I can't hear you, sorry, Guda.
Yeah, you gotta turn your
Oh.
mic up a little bit.
Sorry, it's a little far for me.
What did you say?
I broke my mic. Hold on.
Oh no!
Hang on. Who said we wouldn't have technical problems?
Aussie did.
Ozzy?
Wow.
Aussie.
No,
Wow.
but Roju said
No,
that
Roju,
things couldn't
no.
get worse.
No.
So-
Own it. Own
Well,
it.
Term says, I hope George makes it out with everything but the kitchen sink.
I think at this point, George can only get the kitchen sink.
It's true. I'm not sorry. I'm still not sorry.
I think I fixed it.
Yeah, Nadia, we can hear you.
It's a tradie raidie.
Oh, tradie
Oh,
ready.
hi, Katie.
Welcome in. We're just in the middle of a scene. We'll be right with you.
Broken again. It could just sit there for now. The stand's broken.
Oh,
Oof.
Yeah, it's been broken for a while, but yeah. Anyways, George said that you weren't the worst worst person in the world.
oh.
High praise.
High praise.
High praise.
High praise.
Is George heading out without actually pooping off into another
Yes.
dimension? Ah, okay. Well, then he will get a muffin or two for the road for sure. Obviously, they're chocolate chip too. You know.
Those are yummy.
Yeah, you
I
want
want a
chip
chocolate.
muffins.
I want a non-chocolate chip muffin. What the heck?
I just want-
Character.
Just for
Yeah.
me.
Can we all just come around for chocolate chip muffins? And just
When is Nana's cookbook
Yeah.
coming out?
Every like
Right?
3 months, just pops in. Muffins, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
George leaves, heads out the door, and just walks off.
He gets a little cheek pat before he goes.
You know,
One on the face.
I thought I expected some form of like, I don't know. How did George just disappeared last time? I expected more. Like, I don't know. Look at him. He's just walking off into the
I
crowd.
know, it is strange to see him walk
It
away
is.
instead of.
I was kind of like imagining in my head, like him sort of like walking off down the street, like, time for another new.
Well, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Oh.
But Kuda, it's been great having you.
Thank you guys.
And- If you wouldn't mind leaving, even if you turn off your camera, if you leave the call on so we don't fuck up.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right.
You don't have to
Aw.
leave though.
Tab for the people in chat.
You never
Oh,
have to
no.
leave, Gouda. You can
You
just
can
stay
hang
forever.
around. You can stay for the
That's
rest of
fine.
the stream.
They?
No!
Oh,
So, the next morning come to. It is now the 25th of Arelli. 2 days until the train
Really?
leaves.
No!
Two puns. Let's
Was that
go.
it? Oh no, we got
Yeah,
one.
I
That's
was
right, we
hoping
got one.
Guru
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
here for the punishment. I
Oh.
should have just said mine aloud. We would have gotten it.
Arthur's gonna be
Oh,
awake
man.
early, but he's in a really good mood for some reason. He's just felt like he's well rested. He's gonna get some food, and he's gonna be like a little child waiting for everyone else to wake up on Christmas Day.
You wake up the next day. Those of you who want to prepare any spells, feel free to do so. But you have 2 days, so if there's anything particular you want to get done, we could do so with a bit of brevity. I know that Gerald, do you want to
Mhm.
go pick up the rod eventually?
I do, yes.
You should be able to search for an item called Gerald's rod.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh, what is this? Gerald Raw.
I kind of want to look it up as well.
All right, let's see how this turned out.
It is basically a rod form of. It's like a fusion of the Ring of Spell Storing and.
Yeah, cool.
So it works the same way as a Ring of Spell Storing, that you cast a spell into the rod, and then you can cast it through the rod.
Cool.
And it should also give you the +1 to attacks and saves.
Oh,
But-
awesome.
So
I think
theoretically, could he have a ring of storing and the rod of storing?
Mm,
And-
no,
Yeah.
I combined the two. Oh,
Yeah,
but-
well,
Like, if you got
if you
another
got
one,
Yeah, if you got another one, you also do have your staff of like your staff of power.
can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
dual
yeah.
wield staffs?
yeah, totally.
Yeah, if you have the
That's
attunement
the
slots.
plan.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
kind of cool.
I gotta so the plan is I'm attuning to the rod. And actually, let me just set that. But I need to give up an attunement, and I'm going to be giving up somewhat sadly, but I'm going to be giving up the Cloak of Protection.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to grab that, that's up for game. I do
I'm
know
too
that
short.
Nana doesn't have a single item attuned.
What?
Oh, well, just chuck the cloak on Nana. There you go.
Nana.
Done.
I'm
Mm,
too
perfect. You're not too.
No,
No,
the
magical
cloak
items.
magically
items.
replaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can't get rid of the headband of intellect. I feel like I'm basically stuck with that forever.
It's true. It's
in
true,
this,
you are.
in that.
And that
particular
was the
plot.
first magical item I think we
Yeah.
got. So that's
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I was
one.
attuned to the spoon. Oh.
No, it doesn't
Maybe not.
require attunement.
Oh.
The spoon is just a
Well,
spoon.
I might
you
need to
channel
attune
magic
to
through it.
the quarterstaff, though. How many things can
If you
I
want to
attune
use it, yeah. If you want to use the Skyblinder staff.
Cool. And now I can delete the Rod of the Pact Keeper off my
Just when I thought I
thing.
was getting this game, now I have to find attunement.
Is there attunement on your character
Yes,
sheet?
there is.
Oh,
You
is
actually
there?
have to set the attunement to
I
get
see
any
it.
benefit
I
from
see
the
it.
item.
I could.
Yep.
Wait, hang on.
Mm.
You go
Really?
your inventory, and then you go all the
Yeah.
way
Yeah,
down.
all the way down to the
Yeah.
bottom, and you'll see
Oh.
attunement.
Oh,
Mine
I have attuned to the dragon scale mail, so that's good.
Yeah, and you'll see items
wait.
requiring attunement, and you can boxes.
Oh, okay, so that is Rudy's only.
So,
item
Nana,
required.
if you search and
Mm.
add a Cloak of Protection,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It good.
Sure.
add
However,
it to
you
your-
will require extra sleep.
Yeah, it does require you to sleep for much longer, 2 hours longer.
Man, I'm gonna be able to make breakfast.
I was about to say our breakfast is now 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Or
What the heck?
Go to bed 2 hours early.
Yeah, Nana won't do that.
Oh,
Nana
Nana,
likes to party.
Nana can have like a Nana bedtime now.
Look at
Fine.
Cuddly's like, yuck.
Forcing
And
this cloak on me.
you added that. You should definitely. It's a great cloak. I mean,
Yes.
apart from the extra sleep.
What does it do?
So
Plus
it gives
1 to
you-
AC and saving throws.
Yeah.
Mm. It's pretty good. It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
That's pretty good.
It is
Alright.
very good. Like I'm
Um,
losing one AC for it, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it because
You could also, if you wanted to, if Nana wants to use the Flame Tongue, the Burning Scimitar.
Yeah, flame tongue was
Rudy would request
Yeah,
again
If you
that
search
we.
if you search Flame Tongue, you should be able to find an option where it says Scimitar in brackets.
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, it
it's
just Not
It's
even in
fucking,
brackets,
it's
just
badass.
Yeah. You also need to attune to that, but you can do it. You have enough
okay.
time.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Keep that sword away from me, Nana. I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah,
oh,
so you
oh,
can dig
well,
up
it
that,
is-
see fit.
It is quite dangerous. It is. I mean,
Holy crap!
it does
really
catch on
fucking
fire, quite literally.
Oh, you should like this though. It sheds bright light in a 40-foot radius.
I don't mind that so much. It's just that Urgathor is a little finicky when it comes to Saren Ray.
No, is Saren Ray also a pallid princess now?
No,
no.
Theron Ray is his previous deity. She's all
Yes.
jealous.
I know, Gerald. It was part
Yes.
of the joke. Everyone's trying to be a fucking princess, and Nan just kind of shuffles off, mumbling about.
Okay, alright, if we're going to be like that, I'm going to go off and get my see if that old man is done with my clothes.
Can I? So can I ask what? With the rod, what modifications have been like visually, like, so I can picture it? What's different about it now?
It looks very similar. It just looks polished, cleaned up. Another Pearl of Power has been inserted where the one was removed. And instead, where you had the ice, like the little Spherera disc, around that as well is now almost like wound, like braided into the roots that hold the pearl is the ring. So there's like a golden like a ring that just loops through the roots at the bottom of the rod.
Cool.
But it looks cleaned up, like it's been just finished off properly.
Nice.
Your rod got a proper finish.
Yeah, Rod got a bit of a spit polish.
Anyway, yes, Rudy. you want to- Rudy,
Alright.
you pick
Oh,
up.
yes, sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, is anyone coming with Rudy or?
Yeah, actually, Nana will tuck the sword away because she actually needs to buy something as well. So
Yeah,
she'll
yeah.
kind of follow and she'll like shuffle off, and then she'll see that you're leaving. She's like,
Oh, where are you going?
Remember, I commissioned some clothes to,
he's getting a
cover up-
cod piece.
No,
Oh,
Nana,
the
that
cod
was
piece.
no, not the cod piece.
Right.
No,
What size
Rudy, I'm
did you
sorry, I
end up
can't tell
going
you how
for?
it looks on you. I'm sure it'll look fine.
I hope
I
that.
mean, you're going to need something to fill out once you lose every bit of your flesh.
Don't make me spit take.
Arthur's gonna say, "I'm gonna go find someone, go enchant something," and he's gonna run off to go do that.
Oh, before everyone goes, I just realized we've got a few things also. Did we want to, Nana, did you want, or Rudy, one of you two, did you want this wand of the War Mage we picked up?
What does it do? I don't think I can use wands, actually.
The
So
wand of
no.
the War Mage. While holding this
apologies.
wand, you gain a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls. In addition, you ignore half cover when making a spell attack.
Wait, hang on. Just by holding it.
Just by attuning to this
Sick.
wand
You
Okay,
want it?
and
but,
holding
You
it.
should have it.
but would that mean because Rudy's got a shield? Is the
You don't
shield?
need to hold it.
Oh,
You just need to
you just need to attune
attune
it.
to it.
Well, it depends. Like Rudy is very much spec'd into a lot of melee now. So if, although Nana, how many attunement slots have you used?
How many do I have? Because I didn't
Two.
attune to
You
anything
have
yet.
3 and you've used 2. So
Okay,
Nana
so we
can
could
use
both
it.
use it. I mean, it depends. If
I
you
have
think-
3 things that I can attune to, though: the cloak, the scimitar, and the sky blinder staff. So you should.
You sure?
Yeah. Because I.
Were we going to give that Skyblinder staff to Sim?
Yeah. Now that it's Well, did we decide that it was a
'Cause we-
bit like? It was a bit much
I mean,
for her.
you should use it if you want it.
I mean, I can use quarterstaffs, so. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll-
it's more like an anti-air option, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to take that one, Cuddly, I'll take the wand. It is up to you. I just think Rudy. I've sort of.
I think
put Rudy more
one of you two should use it
Mm.
because you both have both have spells that have
Yeah.
attack rolls.
All right. Well, what's it called again?
Wand of the War Mage.
+1 to the War Mage. Okay.
Yeah, the +1 version.
+1.
I
It's
mean,
the
to be
basic.
honest, I kind of want to give her the fucking cloak because I'm just afraid of all our NPCs going away.
Well, if you give her the cloak, she'll oversleep and miss class in the morning.
Ah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's true. And then she'll
Give her
hate me.
precious study time.
Yeah.
Oh, precious study time. I'll find something nice to send her, I'm sure.
While you settle that, Arthur, what was your plan?
So Arthur
I know.
essentially.
I will say first, since you have been part of the process before, you know that enchanting something takes time, and you're leaving in 2 days.
Which is why Arthur's going to keep that in mind. Arthur essentially just wants to up his armor AC,
Okay.
which he's wearing leather at the moment, which
Mhm.
he's hoping to keep, but maybe enchant it in some way to protect him in a little bit more, either to like a damage type or even gain more AC in a certain thing. But he was going to go talk to someone, and if he couldn't do that, he was just maybe going to go look at some medium armor or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Well,
there is. You do know that there is a piece of magical armor available that Ivanes Skysore was selling.
Mhm.
There is a mariner's breastplate.
Yeah, was that medium armor though?
I believe breastplate is medium armor.
I'm pretty sure
yeah, I
I
think
still
it's
am
medium.
holding this fucking medium armor from ages ago. Scale
Yeah,
mail,
you have,
medium
yeah,
have
we've
armor.
got that.
scale
Yeah, we've got that
You
magical
found the
scale
first
now,
one.
right?
No,
I
this
know
one.
it. It's just common.
Oh, just common.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it would
it's
have greater
medium
AC though. Than
And
the-
what does that do?
Protect you.
Protects you.
It's just
Yeah.
better AC than what you're wearing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
but
medium.
No, the
It-
magical one.
We don't. Oh, the
No.
mariner's one.
The magical one, it's a mariner's armor.
Mm.
So what it does is that it gives you a swimming speed, and if you go unconscious underwater, it bobs you up to the surface.
Arthur hates being in water in the first place.
Yeah, this is like a
Yeah, it's a
life-
it's a life jacket.
Can I imagine it's bright orange like one too?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, because a scale mail would give you disadvantage on
Yeah,
stealth.
yeah, which I'm trying to avoid.
But you could buy very easily. You could just buy studded leather, which is one upgrade from what you currently are wearing. Yeah, studded leather would give you plus. It would bump your AC by 1 point, and it's
and the
it's
breastplate
45
will
gold.
give me what? 2?
Breastplate.
Mariner's
will-
breastplate is AC 14.
Yeah, plus dexterity, but it can only use up to 2 points of dexterity, so your AC would be 16. So that would
that's a
also
plus
give you-
1.
Yeah, and it does not give you disadvantage on stealth.
I might. Yeah, I might do that.
Also gives you a swimming speed, which is
yeah,
nice.
I might go buy that breastplate.
The breastplate is being sold, as you remember, by Ivanis for 200 gold, but some people have bought it but returned it because they claim they keep hearing whispers.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's probably fine and nothing.
You also know, because Ivanis told you, that this armor was actually belonged to someone who got hung for murdering his own family.
Cool.
The deal just gets better.
Yeah, I love how you were like, I think I'm
That
still
just
gonna do it,
means
even though
there's-
Josie's like, please don't get this, please don't.
That
get
just
this, please
means
don't."
there's no one to lay claim to the property. So it's you know it's got a clear order
Arthur's
of ownership.
gonna buy it, but he's gonna take it to someone that can have a better look into it to get rid of the whiskers.
So just checking, nobody wanted this scale mail because then Nana can offer it to Arthur so he can like offset the cost. It's 50 gold to sell it.
Yes, but it is in pretty shabby condition. This is one you found buried in the ground in the first world, so they will offer
yeah.
half price for it. So you can
Okay,
you
so
can
25
no,
off.
25 gold off
also-
the price.
I would argue it's an antique then, Josie.
Okay.
Yeah, and it should be worth 75 gold.
Nana's
Say,
not a haggler, so Nana just
Arthur, if you want to haggle for it, make a persuasion check.
Yeah, do it.
Roll the dice. We love rolling dice here.
What a swan, Jesus.
Wait, what?
And
10. No.
yeah.
There's that. Even this is like anyone could pull a story like that. There's no way to prove it.
We're gonna come back and it's all like cleaned up and on display on the wall. or something.
yeah.
Others just gonna buy it. So what was
There's a
it?
big sacrifice from the first world.
Yeah.
Was it 200 gold? So
One of the
Minus
kind.
25.
Minus
So
25.
it's
So
175.
Yeah.
I just want to
We
get it out
sell
of
the
my bag. I
scale
don't mind.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you can remove it. If there's anything that you all want to sell to get rid of from your inventory as well, just say.
Yeah. Have one of you written the Wand of the War Mage?
I have
down?
got it, yes.
You have
I've
got it?
and
Sweet.
tuned
Alright.
to it. Yep.
I'll delete it from my inventory then.
I really want to use my gems and like exchange them or sell them, get the gold, and then buy some really rare cooking oil.
Okay, how much would you want to spend? There is a jeweler who will definitely buy the gems from you. No issue. You get full price because gems are gems.
Awesome.
They have a constant value.
Yep. So 1,250. And what I would like to. Oh, where are you?
Are you looking for
Yes.
material components for spells?
Maybe.
Okay, that's also something I would recommend for you all to do. To make sure
I
that
would. I'm just making sure I'm not buying too much or too little here.
you write down when you put it in your inventory. You can write like ingredients for casting of spell, and then you could just write how many of those you have.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I would like to spend. Do you know what? Why don't I spend all of it? 1,002. No. We'll just spend 1,000.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah,
1,000 gold
That's
What are
on
you
rare,
getting?
Yeah.
rare cooking oil. That's it.
That's-
Just, in case
is
I
this?
fancy.
What is this for?
Nothing.
I want to know. I want to know.
It's hard to find exactly what you're looking for, but you feel like you get for this value, you could definitely get the ingredients to like if you work overnight, you could make the oil. So you would like buy all the ingredients and then you'll just infuse the oils overnight yourself.
Yeah, or like some sort of cooking or like an unguent, like some sort of cooking or healing. Yep, cool.
Yes.
I will add that. Awesome, thank you.
You said
Are there
sell
what
some stuff. I'm gonna sell my quarterstaff.
Okay, quarter stops. I
The
don't
best.
value.
Button.
That's a stick. Does it have any value?
It says it has 0.2 gold.
So it's 2 silver. You could get a silver piece for it.
I was going to say, he did smack a lot of things with it, so it's probably dented.
Three.
and-
Wow! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Not
2
this.
silver. Let's have a look. I've got 2 potions of healing, a potion of climbing. I'll keep that. He'll sell his leather armor. It's
Okay.
10 gold.
Yeah, go for it.
Rudy does the same thing.
Yeah.
He's got leather armor.
Doop, boop, 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 boop. Arthur needs to buy more arrows.
Yeah, that could be
So-
done.
He's just gonna buy. Let's go 50. What are they? 2.1
You
gold.
find, I will say, one morning that when you're woken, you wake up, there is a goblin hanging out in the guild hall, and some people are like bartering. He's got a big chest of junk on a
Oh.
table,
Oh, okay. Yep. I'll definitely
and
get
he
him.
does have in this chest, he does have what he claims to be an unbreakable arrow,
Oh.
and he offers you
Arthur,
to try it. He offers you to try shooting it.
Arthur shoots it because
Yeah, you shoot at like the target. They have like a dartboard in
Rudy's
the
in the
guild.
room. Rudy's in the
arrow
room,
and-
man.
Yeah. How close to the dartboard are you?
He wouldn't be paying attention to where he is, so probably, unfortunately, close-ish.
Okay. So roll an attack roll.
Yep, I'm doing that. 24.
24. Roll for damage.
Oh.
Yeah, Rudy wasn't
So-
expecting it, so I'll take
Yeah.
7 attack damage.
Yeah, but you do take half damage from
Right.
ranged weapon.
Yeah,
So
I
you
did.
shoot the arrow towards the dartboard. The arrow looks like it's going for a bullseye, then turns and just fucking hits Rudy in the ass for 11 points. damage.
Oh, what the? Arthur! What? That arrow is bent. That arrow doesn't fly straight at all.
Yeah, as you
oh.
try to break, as you go to try to break it off, it is an unbreakable arrow. You have to pull it out.
Oh!
Arthur goes up behind you
What-
and he goes
what kind
to
of
pull it
arrowhead?
out.
Has
but
it got
he
like
It's a
really-
regular. It's a
Oh.
regular.
No. No, you mean not? No, no.
I'm pulling it out.
No,
Stop
no,
moving.
no,
Nana's
Rudy.
watching this over a
No,
mug.
Rudy
Rudy,
is...
bend over and let him pull out.
No.
The ship sails again.
It just turned. Dude,
Arthur's gonna take hold of the arrow.
No,
Also,
Rudy,
he's moving
Rudy's,
around so
no,
much,
Rudy's
it's
doing a
hurting
contest of strength. Contest of strength to push Arthur
Fine.
away.
Okay,
Contest of strength.
sure. Both of you make strength checks.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
I'm rolling terribly today. It's an 11.
Where's
Oh
my
my
strength?
God.
There it is.
Oh.
Oh shit, I did worse.
7. So yeah, Arthur, you can't seem to get a hold of it. Rudy is pushing you off, keeping you in distance.
You know what? We need a flail.
Rudy is marching up to this goblin, going, "What are you thinking, letting archers fire crooked arrows like this? Look at it. If he fired straight and true, Arthur never misses his target. And look at it, it's done."
Well,
yeah.
sir, you got something that might interest you. Sir,
Interest me. There's an
if you're
arrow in my
may
ass.
distract you from the pain, please have a look at this. And he just grabs a cloak. It looks like a half-circle cloak. Sir, you look like someone of fashionable choices.
Oh well,
And he just flicks the cloak, and it changes to a long green cloak.
no.
And then
that is-
flicks it again, and it changes to like this shimmery royal with the puff color.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is a
before.
cloak of many facets.
I mean, you're not wrong. This is very.
And while this is
extravagant.
happening, Arthur, you yank the arrow out.
This is very extravagant. And
Tell me he falls over like Shrek. Come on, this is like.
Nah, this is not right.
I know.
Oh, sir, just for your injury, I can knock off 10% of the price.
okay, what are we talking?
45 gold.
And does it do anything aside from just change shape?
Nope.
Okay, what if I
But
was
it can change into anything. What would you like it to look
okay?
like?
Change it into looking like that wall just there, and hold it up against the wall for me.
It's a cloak. It's not a wall.
But change it to look like it.
Fine. Just like flicks it, and it gets like a wood grain-ish print pattern. Holds it up.
Does it sort of like seem like someone would mistake it for this? For
No.
like no, not at all.
No.
Not very.
But sir, if you're, and it just flicks it, becomes like a very black with a hood.
Oh, I've
and then
already
flip
got
again.
clothes lined up that I need to go pick up. Why
Right.
am I here getting arrows fired into my ass? And
Well, I'm behind Rudy. Does this arrow look any different from any other arrows?
No.
So Arthur's gonna do a sleight of hand, where he's gonna replace
Oh
the
my
normal
oh
arrow
no!
with the fake
Arthur.
one.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Arthur.
so
Arthur.
devious. Is
Nana has gone back to her
Oh
mug.
my
She didn't
God.
See this.
Yeah.
Oh
Natural
my
20
God.
it.
Oh my god.
Man rolls.
You hand an
a
arrow.
20.
You hand the arrow back, and the goblin takes it, places it back into the box.
Good is like you're learning from George.
Oh my god.
What else
And,
do you have in your wares?
Wow.
Oh yes, I have this, and holds up the cloak.
No, I've seen that.
What?
What else?
I also have this, holds up what looks like a spell scroll.
Oh, what?
It's very good.
Up from
It's very
behind
good.
Arthur's shoulder.
What's the
You
spell
look like
scroll?
of arcane persuasion. It might interest you.
Oh, yes,
It
I
is the
am.
Scroll of Illusory script.
Oh yes, I am.
Sorry, what was that?
A scroll of Illusory script.
How much is that?
It is 30 gold pieces.
Arthur, normally we
Sure.
ask what it does before we ask how much it is.
Arthur buys it.
You don't even know what it. This
Classic.
is where my
Wonderful.
headaches come from. This is
Now,
where my headaches come from.
my friends, and there's a few guild members as well. Like someone has bought some knickknacks. They're looking around. The 2 pieces that really brings me here today. I have brings up a bottle with a liquid that looks almost like there's no liquid in it at all. There's just this ever faint sloshing sound. A potion of invisibility.
No, I can turn invisible anyway.
Can you?
You can't. You're not George.
Can
Get out of here.
It just puts the potion back. There's a few people like
I mean,
someone
Gerald,
like looks at the price tag and goes like
Gerald, wouldn't you like something like that? I know you sometimes need to get out of some sticky situations.
I used to have one. I used it in the Linolm situation, but it didn't
Yes.
really help at that point, unfortunately.
Just before you do, I can cast a spell, pass without a trace.
That's not
That's not
invisibility.
invisibility.
Well, yes, but it's close enough.
It's no.
No, but what if Gerald is
You're still
in
perfectly
danger
visible.
and needs to immediately disappear, and you're somewhere else?
Well,
good.
if I can't see them, they can't see me, and so therefore I'm invisible.
And Nana pushes through. How much is that?
How much is the potion?
That logic doesn't.
5,000 gold pieces.
Okay, that's
Oh,
solid.
get
No
out of
one's
here!
getting
That's no
today.
one.
That
Yes,
is-
pull your heads in.
That's a little bit presumptuous.
It's a rare commodity, okay?
And so is my ass, but now there's a hole in it. Okay.
No, we know
Well,
your potion is of the
I have
highest
something.
quality.
I have something for holes, and then gross
Well,
rummages in the chest and holds up a key.
Holds up a what?
A key.
What's that?
Now this,
That was a segue.
It certainly was.
I guess
this
so.
is. If you'll let me finish, sir. This is a key of good luck.
How can you prove it's good luck, good sir?
God damn it, Josie!
That's a key of good luck.
Oh, luck! I thought I heard
I'll give you
luck.
one back. I'll give you one back. I'll give you one back.
That was amazing.
So sorry. Can you come again? What did you just say?
Key of good luck. Cutley's gone.
Good luck or good luck?
Doesn't
Yes.
matter,
Luck.
Rudy.
What the
Luck. Luck.
Rudy hands him a piece of paper and a quill.
Yeah, you're right. Luck. L-O-C-K. Luck.
Right.
Good
How?
luck.
What makes a good luck or a bad luck?
No, this is a key.
Okay, but what makes it a good key of good luck?
Look, listen. I don't name the things. I got a guy for that.
Well, you need to hire a new guy. This sounds
I can
ridiculous.
just imagine he just puts on another hat. Hello.
No, this key. Listen, this key is very special. This key will work on any lock. Once.
And then,
And then it stops working.
okay, so it's a one and done.
Yes, but
Okay.
any lock.
That's
Okay.
pretty. That's pretty
actually
useful.
Pretty cool. How
And
much are you charging for that?
He does put up like a few padlocks that
No,
have
don't-
different.
No,
And
what?
he just holds the key close, and as it gets close to the lock, you can see the actual head of the key starts reforming, and it like seems to adjust itself as he's holding it close to the various locks.
Ah.
That's pretty
But it
cool.
only
You know-
works once, and then
you know-
it's in that shape permanently.
Oh, okay. You know, if someone bumped you then and that key went into that lock, you would completely.
You would have to pay for it.
That's
That
true.
would be a very expensive padlock.
300 gold, and this key is yours.
I mean,
Nah. Arthur's like,
That's not.
yeah.
That's not
It's
terrible.
not the worst.
look, if you one of you, I can put some money towards it. If you're
Nana, you need to
interested in
stop
this treat.
buying things for us, please.
Oh, I have to buy things for my boys, but she's very careful.
Did you just
with Rudy's
did you just
cheeks.
pinch Rudy's cheeks?
No, like the very barest amount, just in case, because she's very aware that the cheeks could come off.
Did you touch
Yeah.
his skin at all? At all?
Yeah. No.
Josie?
No.
You know, it's there, but it's kind of gross touching him. It's very like.
It didn't
It's
come
very-
off though.
very, like, no, they don't come off, but they are like very parchmenty. They're like stretched and dry.
Yeah, and she gives him like a little pat and says, "Probably won't do that again."
It's getting a bit leathery.
Yeah.
Oh, do I need to moisturize more? I'll find my lavender oil.
Honestly, I think it might be not a bad thing to pick up.
No, not at all.
Originally,
DM
like,
is
mentioned
offering it to us, then we might fucking want it.
Okay, but I mean, I suppose we could always just.
I mean,
I
now you can
always
put like
like
100
this
gold
on me at all
towards it.
times,
Easy.
you know. You never know.
Hmm.
Arthur's
But,
so sick of your indecisiveness, and he throws
how-
300 gold down.
No, Arthur. No, I was just about to do a thing.
Oh. No, Arthur, I was going to do a thing.
I was going
He,
to do
he
a
removes
thing.
300 gold, and he goes, "God, you guys take so long shopping. Come on."
Like your
Oh,
business doing
that's
you,
fresh
sir.
coming from you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So hang on. So I've got the arrow. What's the scroll called?
It's a spell scroll first level of the spell Illusory Script.
Do I know this one?
Yep. And then the key.
The key is a key of good luck, but they just write it down as a custom item for now.
Okay.
But the unbreakable arrow is an actual item.
Yeah,
you can just
I
have.
found that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But you do have to go pick it up every time, but it doesn't break.
Sweet. Key. Of...
It's kind of like because there is a key item that's similar to
Yeah.
that. Is the mystery key.
Yeah, but it's a little different.
But it's better than a mystery key because mystery key is like a chance to work.
Yeah, and then turns to dust. This key attunes to a lock that it's used in.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if Crater ever, like, I mean, I don't know how old Crater is, but if he grows up into like the terrible twos or something, or
Oh my
as a
God.
teenager he gets a little, chompy, we could maybe. like-
No, don't lock his
Just
little mouth
saying.
shut.
Put a muscle on Trader.
No, but like, what if he's like a terrible toddler or something, and he
Literally
just bites
look-
everyone?
spell it,
Like,
you
we
know,
have
have
to do
any
something.
acid.
Gerald would be on board for
Oh
this
my
idea.
God. Oh my God.
I'm
Um,
just thinking.
Arthur turns around. Is there any more you got to sell? Or have we tapped you
And that's
out?
all I have left.
Right.
I got the
In that
potion,
case-
I got the cloak. The rest I'm dry.
Sweet.
I'm gonna dry out if I stand here any longer without going to get my new clothes. Is anyone else coming to the market? Can we go now?
Yes. I'm coming.
Arthur grabs at the scroll and goes straight to Gerald and goes, "Look, this is better for you than it is for me, probably. So here's the
Oh.
scroll."
Oh,
And I will
alright.
say it does have a ritual tag. So you can put this into your Book of Shadows.
Oh.
So Arthur gave you a good thing without even realizing.
He still doesn't know what it is.
It does magic. Magic man, magic scroll.
All right. Well, just for expediency, then
Illusory
I'm
Script.
gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and
Spend some time doing that.
spend some time and money to transcribe that.
Perfect. Rudy, you go to pick up your clothes. You step inside the tailor's office and you hear, "Hello."
Oh, I forgot your voice. Hello, my good sir. I've returned to pick up the clothes I commissioned a few days ago.
They are quite finished, and I dare say I'm proud of the result.
I'm glad you are. Now, just to clarify, there were no cod pieces on it, right?
No arm pieces? I skipped sleeves.
No. Wait. No cod pieces. That was what I said as I what? What do you mean? What have you done?
Yeah, and he shows you the clothes, and feel free to describe to us the
Yes.
clothes, because
Okay.
this is something that Aussie himself has designed.
It is.
Oh.
However, I would have to access Discord, which means I'm going
So
to
it's
need my
not just one
phone.
giant cod piece.
No, it is not one giant cod
Yeah.
piece. Hold on.
I'm a little upset, actually.
It should
I
be.
can't believe you've done this to us.
Hang on. Okay, sorry.
I'm kind
I
of
still
just
can't believe he was
imagining a
gonna
muscle
muscle
suit.
friggin' his pet.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god.
Crater
Okay.
can come home with me.
So, essentially, Rudy is foregoing the robe entirely. So he's no longer going to be
Okay.
wearing like cleric style or priest style robes. He's wearing more like fitting clothing, just like a nice form fitting like shirt and leggings essentially. Because he's being more active in battle, he wants less fabric to get in the way of his movements.
And he wants to keep the parts in that are gonna fall out.
Possibly. Coloring wise, it does follow Urgathoa's traditional colorings now. So it's mostly greys with bone white accents all the way through it in like intricate patterns around like around the edgings and stuff like that, embellishments. It does have a cool feature in the hood. So I don't have a picture cover, Raptor. So the hood is a little unique. So when he's wearing the hood, it also has a fold that he can bring up over his mouth and nose, and a fold that he can bring down over his eyes that is fairly like light material, so he can still see through it. But like if he was in combat, it would be a detriment to his vision. So he can kind of like hide his face if he needs to. Because
You're a goddamn ninja.
Like a
man.
Pac-Man balaclava.
yes, a Pac-Man balaclava. Thank you, Cuddly, for ruining the image I had in my head forever. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, as the old man has accurately described, there's no sleeves. It's like a singlet.
I see.
The old man has misinterpreted no cod pieces to no arm pieces. So his arms are completely bare now.
Wow.
Bill has a cod piece.
I didn't write anything about a cod piece, so that is up to the DM.
Yeah.
It does
but
have a
that's-
cod piece,
Yes.
but it seems to be like not sewn in. It's detachable for easier to wash.
Detachable penis.
As you're putting it all on and trying it on, the gnome says, "And I know your type. I added at least something extra." And he grabs a pair of scissors and he just cuts into the hem of your shirt.
What are
Just
you
tap
doing,
his
man?
nose. And as you're looking, the threads of the fabric starts just pulling itself together. These clothes have the mending property, so they will fix themselves automatically.
That is so
Awesome.
good.
That is
That's
actually
great.
brilliant. You know what? I had you all wrong except for this ruddy codpiece business. So I can't remember. I actually
Aim
cannot remember.
better, young one. And he gets serious. Someone will always choose to not fight fair, and you'll be happy you have that codpiece.
Does it do anything?
It protects your balls.
Arthur still wants to kick him in the balls.
You know what? You're not wrong. I've
know.
learned something today. Rudy paid for this up front, didn't he? Or did he?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
You know what? And how much did he pay again? Sorry.
A lot. I think like
He paid a decent amount.
I think 25 or 50
Yeah.
gold. But it was
Um,
still pretty decent.
you know what? You have gone above and beyond, my good sir. I'd like to, if you want, a little bit extra, and Rudy, he tips him another like 5 gold.
Ooh.
And you know what? Thank you for keeping the cod piece on. I'll have to get used to this. This is going to be a little interesting if the skin continues to. How are Rudy's arms? Because he hasn't really had unclothed arms for a while.
They look pale but fine.
Okay, all right. Well, I suppose we can work with this. Thank you. You have been a very large help.
Well, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
But yes.
Is there anything else that anyone wants to do? Any shopping? Any looking around? Any preparations?
Arthur is gonna go to, I suppose they call them a tavern. I was about to call it a bottle-o.
There are 2 taverns, yes.
And he's gonna get the strongest bottle of
Okay.
alcohol or ale or whatever. Whatever the strongest content it is, and he's
Mhm.
gonna ask if they can wrap it so he can give it to Nana.
So you just want a strong bottle of booze.
Essentially,
Okay, give me a moment. And I will... think
essentially,
it's-
Arthur wants to see if he can get Nana drunk. Why? Because it'd be funny to see Nana's like spit truth. I feel like if Nana gets that drunk, she would have no filter.
Just like
Please.
unleashes,
Honey.
uncorks.
Nana can outdrink
Yeah,
you.
10 gold for their most expensive bottle of wine.
Only
my God.
10.
Yeah.
Arthur is actually quite
Hey, 10
intrigued
gold's
by
a
this.
lot.
So he's actually gonna buy 2 bottles and keep one for
Mhm.
himself.
Okay.
But asks for one to be nicely wrapped, and he's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
literally go find Nana because he's like a kid. He can't keep presents away. He has to give them right there and then. Nana,
Oh, yes.
I have present.
Oh, but what's this? And she unwraps it, and she is very pleased, and she's, oh, well, such a fine drink. I can't drink this alone.
No, of course not. Maybe we should get everyone else to join us on a couple of drinks.
That sounds lovely. And
Sweet.
she will- she
So
will-
with that night, are we having a booze up? Are we?
yeah, we are.
So we're having a booze up the night before we have to go meet the queen again. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well,
I guess so.
All right. Remember what happens in Ebonspire.
Yeah. So the evening before, you get yourself some nice food, you have your drinks, and you have a moment of like proper leisure. Like the first time in a while that you all feel like pretty relaxed. There's, as far as you know currently, not a lot to be worried about. There's drinks, there's food, there's jovial chats.
Arthur is so
You're just
gonna,
having a good time.
Arthur's so gonna challenge Nana for a drinking contest.
Does Nana accept a drinking contest?
Yeah, why not?
Rudy's gonna crash the drinking contest and join in as well.
All right.
Okay, anyone who's joining the drinking contest, make
Go
a
on, Gerald.
constitution.
Come on,
Come
Gerald.
on, Gerald, get in here.
Constitution save.
Gerald's
It's not a good
drinking.
idea.
Come on, Gerald.
It didn't go
Ugh.
well for me last time. I
Shit.
got very
Alright.
drunk.
In that case, you are in charge tomorrow when we're
Shit.
all hungover.
Shit.
Oh,
Arthur
Now
didn't-
that's a freaking roll.
Oh wow!
Nice. We got a 13 over here.
Dang it!
21.
So Arthur,
It's
you're
because
the
you
first
don't have a
one.
stomach anymore, man. That's
You just
why.
can't. Arthur, this drink is not for you. Is the first thing you realize. Like, it doesn't taste any good for you, and you just can't seem to keep it down properly. Nana, it's fine wine, and you find yourself enjoying it more than like drink contesting with it. You're like, this wine should be like cherished
Yeah.
and enjoyed. Whereas Rudy immediately starts like gulping it down, and for you, it's like drinking water at this point.
Nice.
I would assume at some point, because we're all partaking of it, would the second bottle be around Arthur at all?
Well, since Arthur's tried to, and he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, look, guys, I did buy a second bottle. Here you go. And Arthur's gonna order a mead from the bar.
Can Rudy do a second Constitution
Yeah, go
save
for it.
maybe to chug the whole
Go for
bottle?
it.
Arthur's
Oh,
gonna do the
shit,
same
okay,
with
yeah.
his
Oh my gosh.
13.
13. It's better. You're
No,
enjoying
no!
it. You go to start chugging, and you realize that like your belly is full of wine, and you are starting to get really bad heartburn and burping, and it's just like.
Is this kind of like a poison effect?
It would be considered a poison effect.
Rudy casts
He's drunk. guys.
Shroud of the Afterlife again.
Okay, so you get advantage. Oh, so you're immune. You can just
Yeah, you Shroud's
start
not
feeling.
keeps drinking.
more like Shroud of the After Party.
And I feel like
Rudy starts looking like really, really sick for a moment, and just go. And then he just steals his gaze, and you see like the dark circles appear around his eyes, his cheeks sink in a bit, and then he just keeps chugging.
And Nana just is like sipping her wine, like, that was really interesting.
now I would like to hope Ergothor is smiling at this, because not only is he consuming with gluttonous, reckless abandon, but also using her powers to do so.
I'll make a note.
Yeah.
I'd like-
Disconcerting, Rudy, but
I'd like to add
well
one
done.
to my next divine intervention.
Oh my
We'll
God.
see. We'll see. But the
Oh.
next one comes to Rudy, definitely hungover,
Oh yeah.
completely wasted. Arthur, you're doing okay. You didn't drink too much at the end of it because the drink wasn't free. Nana, you're feeling quite good. You're feeling nice.
So
Like,
we
you
got-
had a leisurely drink, and you also have the amulet of the drunkard, so you
do.
get healed when you drink.
So we got hungover, CD, and just like a 19-year-old wakes up the next morning, no problem.
Yeah, feeling better than ever.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And Nana also has to sleep an extra 2 hours now as well.
Also, like Nana's patron is literally the drunk guy, so
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
like
Yeah,
as
he-
long as you know.
He was probably matching drink for drink somewhere.
Yeah. She probably like did a little wink up to this guy and went, "This one's for you," and he was like, "Oh yeah, I see you."
But the dawn comes, and you do know that you're meeting the queen today.
Cool. Oh, and Josie, I'll let you know as well. I also took the opportunity to finally transcribe wrist pocket as well.
Okay, good.
So I spent 150 gold doing that.
Wonderful, wonderful. I will say as well, if someone wanted to get an equipment bump, I know there's 2 of you that have shields. There is a +1 shield for sale, 400 gold with Ibanez.
Isn't Rudy's shield already?
It's you have a resistance to ranged weapon damage, but this is a
Rudy
+1.
has a shield.
This
Well-
shield would give someone +1 to their AC on top of the 2 that the shield already gives.
But you'll be giving up the resistance
Yeah.
to damage.
I feel like 17 AC is still okay. Like I feel like that's pretty
that's good.
up there for what we have going at the moment. I'll keep with what I've got for now. That's okay.
Okay.
What
Just wanted to
what's your
point that
AC
out.
now with the cloak? For Nana.
Nana should be 15.
15, yeah.
That's
I was
pretty
just
good.
checking
Yeah.
that. That's not bad. So I'll have a
You're
think
all
about it.
Nana is still the lowest with her
Hmm.
15.
Yeah, she's a little squishy.
So you got pretty decent numbers. No one is like super high AC, but no one is in the low range anymore either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all medium range AC.
That's okay.
But yeah, having shield sort of makes up for that a bit.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Whoa.
But the morning
Oh,
comes
thanks,
too. You get yourself ready to go meet the queen. And there's a lot of bustle around town when you leave, when you walk through. There's a lot of people are moving northward towards where the station is. And heading into the Ebon Spire itself, you walk up the stairs towards the main building that's built into the spire itself. It's different this time. There's a few people around, and the queen is standing up. And she looks stern. She looks a lot more regal than last time. She's wearing similar clothing, but they're more ornate, and she's wearing this big gold, what are they called? Not gojets, like when it's like a stiff, wide necklace with an inset, like black opal into it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Mhm.
I believe
Yeah,
it's a gojet. I can't remember.
I think you might be right. I can't remember exactly though.
But you know the type I'm talking about. Like it's a
Yeah.
necklace. With
Yeah,
this,
I
like
can picture it.
large, stiff metal choker.
Mm.
And she's also got what looks like golden eyeliner going on, and her nails have been painted gold. She stands looking very, very ornate currently, and around her are a handful of people.
Mm.
And as you step in, there's a few people around doing some paperwork, having some talking. And they seem to be talking up near the throne. Again, she's not sitting, she's standing in front of it, talking to these people. You recognize one, at least. All of you recognize Venarian Quinn.
Yeah.
Standing there.
Oh boy.
Your boy, Gerald, would recognize easier than the others. Golas Yok is standing there, the elderly orc who runs the
Nice.
corridor.
Yep, the
Yeah.
statue. Yep.
No, the statue is still in the
Rudy,
courtyard.
Rudy would recognize one person, um, Abbess Hilda Longhorn of the Abbess of the Dawnstar,
Mhm.
who runs the
Mhm.
church to Sarenrae in town. And then there's one more person who none of you seem to recognize. And the Queen, Erica, turns towards you. Good morning.
Arthur drops to his knee. Good morning, my queen.
Morning, Your
know?
Majesty.
He's
Rudy
a little
also nods his
bow.
squid, but as he nods, he pulls the eye part down.
Now, I gave you some days to consider what I proposed for you. My council, and gestures towards all of them, Venerian Quinn, Golas York, and then other side, Abbess Hilda Longhorn, and Lawrence Rethman. We are missing one for this convening of thoughts. General Wallace Orlean remains firm to stay within the Citadel of Christ. They do not believe the task I have given you is as dire as it is. And Venerian looks a bit awkward, like he's just like doesn't really know who to look at. And Golas York steps forward a little bit. There is no proof that what you claim is true. Cases of undeath have always existed, and an uprising is unprecedented. But we don't know what's causing it. And the Ur-dragons might as well be a myth. And the abbess steps forward. Yes. There's no way to prove that any of this is necessary. But the queen remains adamant, and the queen is still the true power in these chambers. And Loris Rethman speaks up. Now, here's the compromise. You are to go find these Ur-dragons. And ask them what's going on, essentially, from what the queen has told. And she looks like, that's not what I said, but fine. Like, that's the look she gives him.
But fine.
It's like,
Yeah.
bitch, don't tell me my own plan.
So, the idea is you find one, you ask them what the fuck is going on around here, and you come back here and you tell us what you found out, and then we determine if we should indeed try to find any other Ur-dragons and see what they know.
Arthur sets the sword. I'll be telling the queen what we find, not you.
Spicy.
Oh.
Nana
Whoa.
steps in. With all due respect, by the time we travel back here, other things may have happened. Do you not think it would be best to send a messenger and continue our search for the next dragons? And that way, if something is happening, we'll have a bit of a head start, wouldn't you think?
And the queen does like nod at you, and then says, "We will humor the council. If you find one of the Ur-dragons, when you find one of the Ur-dragons, ask them what they know of the current situation, and do come back here. Words might be lost within the limitations of messages. Messengers might miss something or get into trouble. But if you do find one of these dragons, one of these mighty, ageless beings, and they do tell you what we've all been fearing, then I see no reason why the council shouldn't fund any further expeditions." And they kind of like look at each other a little bit. And Laura says, "Well, that's good and all, but we were also told you would be giving yourself a denomination. So, working now directly under the Queen, for now.
For now.
What name should we spread?
Are we all in agreement with what we
And
suggested
Nana
earlier?
gives him a little encouraging nod. Like,
I also feel that I felt some positive vibes from Goose last night, so I think we're
he's
in the clear on that.
an enthusiastic honk.
Yes. I distinctly heard an enthusiastic honk in my dreams last night. Oh, that might have also been the hangover, but yes.
Well, if I may then, our suggestion was to call us the Vanguard of the Black.
And you see the queen smiles, like her very stiff face does like break a little like twitch in the corner of her mouth, and Venarian looks like not bad, not bad. Like, nodding, like that's a good name. And the abbess doesn't really look phased. She's been almost staring daggers at Rudy this entire time.
That's why I put the cover down.
Yeah. Lawrence just nods, looks at the queen. Well, I believe that's that. And the queen says, yes. Now I shall prepare some paperwork, and we'll meet you all at the northern gates for your departure. Vanguard of the Black, Godspeed.
At this point, I'm assuming we're being...
Give a little bow and
They,
head out.
they just stand there waiting for you all to bow away.
And Nana will turn around at the last second and just address the court, or what was it? The little
Council.
other council. Thank you, the council, and said, "I await seeing you again with good news." And gives him a little wink and walks out the door.
Just before the door closes, Rudy would exclaim a little too loudly, he'd go, "No evidence? Did they not see the head? I can make that thing talk at any time!"
Like you hear it spoon.
Out, Nana!
But you head north, following the people, and you see, billowing with smoke now, this massive metal structure that is, like, as you're coming closer, it's big. This long, worm-like, it's essentially an old steam train, is what it looks like. And there's a lot of people here. Some people are getting up on this wooden platform. There's a few people, mostly dwarves, that are checking what seems to be people's tickets and luggage. And there's one that's walking around, looks like they're selling tickets. And there's a lot of people just standing around looking and like waving goodbye. And there's, yeah, well, what do you want to do?
Did we already buy ours? We didn't buy our tickets yet, did we?
No, the queen was going to supply them, though.
Oh,
We've got them reserved, right? Yeah.
Wait, do we see the young little Medusa lady anywhere? What was her name? I can't remember what her name was. What was her name? It's Hug something. Sorry.
Haywood.
Haywood,
yes.
You cuddled me.
Yeah, that's right. Perception check. All right.
Too cute.
Arthur's also going to do a perception check.
Yeah.
17, and then Arthur's roll 26. Show off.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind. Forget whatever Nana fucking sees. The crowd's too big.
You might see the flag up over
Actually,
people though.
She will not. She won't.
Okay. Rudy and Arthur, you do see that little like red-orange wimple flag, and you see that she is currently struggling to climb up the steps into the actual train.
Oh, Arthur goes to bend down and help.
Now, as soon as you get up, you get stopped, and someone says, "A ticket, please."
Oh.
Have you not heard of us? We are the Vanguard of
Arthur, we all like clamp our hands on his mouth at once and like pull him back.
I believe the Queen has tickets reserved for us.
Yes. Yes, there is. I'm just gonna check. There is a couchette reserved in the Queen's name.
Be it.
Will be 25 gold pieces. And we will lead you to the VIP section.
And that's each,
Weren't we
right?
supposed to wait?
Yeah, that's total. But yeah,
yeah, actually, she was supposed to see us off, so.
Sorry, what was that, Josie? You cut out?
yes, the queen is gonna come here
Yeah.
to like.
Oh, yeah, we'll certainly board soon. Just that lovely fellow just over there. Looks like they require some assistance. That's what I believe my friend here was trying to help.
Yeah, and as you're looking over, Haywood has climbed up to the last step and is like walking into the actual train.
Well, never mind. You spent. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
20,
I'm just gonna remove
25
my
gold, was it?
Yeah,
Yes.
remove my gold now, but then still wait.
That's total. That's 25
total.
total. Not
Oh.
25 each.
Nana's got this. Whatever. I don't want to add shit back. Okay.
You
Whatever.
should pay for it all in copper.
Oh shit!
One,
Daddy took the gold out.
two,
I'm so mad
three,
now.
4.
What was gold? 25, 250. Hold on. I'm doing that.
But as you're standing there, there is a little bit of a podium being set up, and you see the council coming, and Venerian Quinn comes like jogging up towards you. All of you sees the group and pushes through like the crowd up and says a few words to the person who was like stopping people for tickets, and he walks through and he holds out what looks like 5 sealed scrolls, and he says, "These have the Queen's sigil on them. It has your group's name on it. At least here in the West Flatlands, these should get you easier access to talking to people."
Right. Okay.
That's all we could do for now. And it looks like the queen is holding some sort of speech, like the crowd has moved over to where the podium is. So it's up to you if you want to go into the train or if you want to.
She said she'd meet us, or
Yeah, we should.
We'll,
We should.
yeah,
listen to
we'll
the speech.
we'll give. Nana gives fuck my life, Valerian a little. She can't quite reach his cheeks, but you know what she means, like a little arm pat, and
Yeah.
she'll go listen to the queen.
And the queen is talking about. I won't do like an actual speech, but she's talking about the industrialization of trade, how export and import from Tarkar is now going to be so easy. How the both cities, as well as Burd, which is also being connected by an underground train, that like joining the Western Flatlands together in infrastructure is going to be a positive change for everyone. They just talking about like how good this is.
Rudy says under his breath, but loud enough for the rest of the party to hear. Oh, I used to fall asleep to these.
And eventually she says, "And I wish a very pleasant journey on the maiden voyage of the Magirail." And she just claps her hands, and you can hear a choo choo, and someone yells, "All aboard!"
Oh, we need to. We
We're
gotta
gonna
go.
go on.
Yeah, we gotta
That's
go.
Just wave.
Yeah, the queen does wave to you and like nod at the group of you as you're running up.
Arthur, the queen waved. Wave
Sort of
back, quick.
Awkwardly wave.
Excellent.
But yeah, you run in, you get led into what looks like a because you walk past a few of these coaches that it looks like they have just the rows of seats that you can see through the window, and then you get to one where you walk in, and there's instead this very tight little corridor to the side, and there's these couchettes or cochettes, like these booths essentially with doors that can close. And you are led to one that's where it says reserved. And you are led to it, and someone says, "Well, if you'd please," and then opens the door. And very quickly, this person says, "Excuse me, do you have a ticket?" and steps in. And inside the coach, you do see George.
What?
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 Hang on.
What?
What?
Wait, hang on. I just saw.
George.
And that's where we're going to end for today.
Oh my god, I was just like, it's weird that June's just like still has your stream up. I don't
You. You.
I was okay. I'm not even joking.
You
I
had
was
me on that
thinking.
one.
I was gonna say in the crowd,
Maybe.
do we spot George? Because the characters didn't know George got a ticket, but like as we did our perception checks, but you
Oh,
son
that's
of a gun,
right.
you son of a
You
gun.
stole someone's ticket. Oh my god. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Oh, and we have the extra seal that I'm assuming is meant for Goose, but we do have an
No,
extra
it's
seal.
that's not how it works. It's
Oh,
more of
fuck.
it's more like you would hand it to someone you would want to like talk to. And pretty much
Oh,
it's a letter from the queen that says like these people work for me. Give
Yeah.
them what they want, please.
but they don't give
Yeah.
the letter back to us.
No,
No,
because it's a seal. It's got her like wax seal on it.
Oh, right.
yeah,
It
we've
would
basically
lose
got
it.
like
Right.
one letter of get out of
It's
our
a
way
free
kind of thing.
persuasion check.
We get 5 get out of jail free cards.
Slash
Got it.
intimidation check.
It depends on where you use it and how you use it and stuff like that. But it could potentially let you in with ease.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's we're gonna end with George sitting in the couch.
I imagine he's sipping on wine too.
Oh my
I
god.
got some wine.
Yeah, there's like the like there's a mini fridge and it's just it's just
George is
God.
already helping themselves to our mini fridge.
Oh my
Wow.
god. That's amazing.
Oh dear.
It was
Oh.
reserved.
I did not see that at all. That was
I was
brilliant.
happy.
Such a good twist.
Yeah.
Such a great twist.
I was actually like, oh, I didn't realize Guda was leaving so quickly. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and then I
found
was like,
that.
should I go? I was like, oh,
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no, you can stay. You don't have to
Yeah.
go from the stream. You can just stay. like
You had a
you,
twist.
You
We're
played
not
us.
done with George yet.
you bamboozled us.
Oh.
So, we're sorry if we took too long to get to the train to reveal the twist.
No worries.
that-
I was just watching and laughing, and like I kept on like trying to assure my chat, "Don't worry, I'm here for a reason. They just don't know yet."
Oh,
Imagine if
dear.
it's like swapped to Asu or something and then just randomly swap back to the
That would be really funny.
Oh,
Like,
well
it's me,
done.
it's me, it's me.
Well done.
yeah.
Oh, heck. So that means we're off on a new adventure now. Like,
Yeah.
for realsies. Wait, does
For
this mean
realsies.
like, does like the campaign name stay Dramonia?
Yes, because that's the name of the
Okay,
world.
That's the name of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna keep that. Cool.
But we got a party name now, isn't that
Got a
exciting?
party name, yeah.
After 49
Party
sessions.
name,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Okay.
Chat likes the party name, by the way. We got a
Yes.
few comments about it, so that was good. That
Yeah?
was good.
That's
Good party name. Yeah.
We like in Vanguard of the Black.
Vanguard
I'm
of the
a fan.
I just
Yeah,
like
might
how
be short
quickly you
into, like,
guys were on
Vanguard or something in the future. Or
Yeah, like once we gain a
Vanguard.
bit of a name for ourselves,
Oh,
people will probably use a bit of a shorthand name or something like that. I imagine.
because
as
I
people
was
tend
just
to do.
like, have you not heard of us? And all of you guys just jumped on me.
Because
I
no
was
one
just
has,
like,
literally no one has heard of us.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Arthur is spreading the word.
Oh my god.
And
I
this
was
is
like, no,
like-
no, no, no.
and this
I
is
was
the only
immediately
way.
like, you might have heard of us. We're pretty
Like,
big.
no, they have not.
They've not.
Wait, does that mean
No.
George is like unofficially a member of the Vanguard of the Black?
I don't know. If you
Well,
keep
Until
George
George
along.
Steps away.
I
Keep George
feel like
Stein.
that's more in George's ballpark than it is ours.
It is not. It is not.
I think it's about equal because you guys have to like. It's got to be a discussion in the first place.
Well,
And
we got to
that's
find if we
really
kick
good
you out of
news.
our cart
Yeah.
first, or
I think we're not kicking
George has a
George out
ticket.
of our car. George has a ticket.
It's true.
George is
Yeah.
where he's supposed to be.
And
It's-
Gerald likes George now, so
Well, I don't. Let's not
Gerald.
go that
Gerald
far.
can sit next to George.
I will say these, while this is like a VIP, it's a large couchette where you got like room
Okay.
to sit, and there's like a table in the middle. There's like a mini fridge, but you also realize that what looks like the backrests they fold upwards, so and then there's like where the suitcase rack is. It looks it's hanging in nets, so there's like this two like columns of 3 beds in here as well. You can make it so. Because the train ride is going to take a few hours, because you're still traveling pretty far.
Oh,
Yeah.
train
And,
session.
And we're so it's got some space to sleep if we want to.
It does. It's
Excellent.
like got like triple
Excellent.
bunk beds, kind of.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
I also
yeah.
want to remind everyone that we came with all our stuff, right? So
Of
there's
course.
a there's a
Yeah,
there's a
crate,
little there's a crate,
Yeah, Madeline.
there's
is
a
a crate,
twig
of
light
course there
in
is.
a
Oh,
really
Trader
dirty
was
boot,
listed in.
and
The
there's a
pets.
chicken in a macrame like
Yeah.
little cuddler thing.
Chaos. It's chaos.
All,
in here.
all
But
in the
you're-
the
you're
overhead
VIP
baggage.
But you are the VIP. It's one of those like, yes, wonderful.
Oh, you've got a
the
pot
twig
plant
light
as
is
well.
testing
Oh,
them.
What
good.
about our horse?
Oh shit,
Oh,
Dingo.
no, Dingo, we would have given Dingo over to the guild, surely.
Oh.
I think that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Poor
The horse
Dingo.
doesn't get on the train.
Don't worry, I'm sure we
We
would
will
have.
see Dingo again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And retroactively, I'm sure you would have conveyed all of Dingo's requests.
Yeah,
to
look,
the
look.
guild,
Arthur should have found some sort of pocket for him to, you know.
It'll be fine.
You'll be
It'll
alright.
be fine.
You'll be
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
But yeah.
But yeah.
We,
So next week,
right.
is session 50.
Yeah. Wow.
the
And I
train
will say
derails.
the week after that, there will be no Dramonia as I am not available.
Yes.
No, we're
that's
gonna
right.
celebrate so hard on our 50th one that none of us will be available.
Next week is gonna be the travel on the train. It's gonna be arrival at Tarkar, and there's some stuff that's gonna happen there. There's a certain person who has a certain person.
Oh, I see some eyebrows wiggling. I see some wiggly eyebrows.
Eyebrows,
Yeah.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows,
There's
eyebrows, eyebrows.
there are things happening
There
in
are things and
Tarkar.
there are people that.
Yes.
I like it. I like it.
But yes, so the party taking off on the next leg of the journey. The quest is find out where the fuck you might find an Ur-Dragon. Find the Ur-Dragon, ask what the fuck is going on.
That's pretty much it.
Nice. We can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this.
Actually,
But
yeah.
That's what
Another question worth asking is who are we tag teaming for a raid?
who are we taking? That is a good question.
That's a great question.
Is any one of us streaming
Oh,
for
there-
longer?
Oh my god, there's someone actually streaming Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, it's Gouda.
No, it's
And-
Aussie.
It's also
I just
Oh my
started
god, it's
whispering-
both of them.
I just started whispering into my bottle, like, I swear to God, can't let that through.
I thought you were being
Wow.
serious this time.
whenever.
Never serious.
When is she? I was gonna say.
Dang it. I got
But where are we
traded.
going? Is any one of us gonna keep streaming? I'm
I'm
looking at
thinking
Rogue
about
and
it.
Gouda.
Or Gouda, are you? Because
I usually do. If my stream actually stays alive, I just tend to stream for long times.
Well, I'm happy to raid Gouda.
Yeah, me too.
Gouda's
Wait,
chat was
okay.
so patient with us earlier. I reckon it's only fair we send everyone
Pay
over there.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might still continue myself anyway.
I will definitely
I
be in
won't
your
hurt it.
chat, Roju.
Yeah.
I will be
okay.
going to
I
bed.
will be lurking.
I will also be going to bed. I'm sorry.
Bed. I got an early
What's
stream to prepare
friendly?
for. So.
Phasmo.
You playing Phasmo?
Phasmo.
Oh my God.
Who's moo?
Don't worry, my scarefro bar was hit to like 30 or something today, so I'll be doing another Phasmo stream in like a week. So if anyone wants to do
Good.
Phasmo,
Oh,
hit me
Yeah,
up,
boy.
I did
alright?
There
actually
we
want to join you
go.
the other night, but I was like asleep. I think.
That's okay.
Mm.
I'll
I
give
got
more
your
notice next
message
time.
so late at night.
Yeah, I'll give you guys more notice next time. My bad.
Yeah.
No, it was because I was already sleeping.
I'm
no,
gonna
it's-
wrap it up on my end and
my
then
steps backwards as well. So
raid the Gouda.
Alrighty,
Okay.
I will see you all later.
I will
See
take
ya.
care of you and your
Bye.
chatters.
very good.
Bye.
And for my peeps,
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go to thanks for watching anyway, even though you guys won't be able to see me because we'll just do a little bit of this. There we go. See, that's me. I'm there. Look at me. I'm AussieDevFro. I'm actually here and totally not invisible. Alright, so